Everybody, how are you? I'm so very on time. I know. To be fair, we had a very good reason. We had a very good reason for being late. First, I needed more coffee, and also we were talking some shit about Mark Brooks, and this is way too much entertainment to be interrupted. So
I'm scared. If I walk up to his table and say hi, he might just punch me.
I know. Why am I so damn bright today? All right, this is really weird. Okay. All right. Okay, come on. My light's being weird.
There it is.
Ooh, do you guys want to see something cool?
Of course.
Always. Let's see it.
Hide your armpits like a marionette. Well, today they're safely hidden. It's I'm breaking brand for once, but it's because
she's got gear.
Fiendish swag.
And I noticed in this camera it's spelled properly. It's not backwards.
Yeah, it is, because my camera does the flippy thing. So
nice.
Hold on.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Yay.
And it's perfect time. The weather's getting a little chillier, so.
Yeah, so they're on my store, and the link should be in the description. But if someone wants to post it, that would be great too. And the back is really cool. Look at the back. It's this in the back.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
I like that.
I couldn't turn around to get a picture with my phone. I'm not that flexible.
So is that kind of the ink or whatever where you can actually feel it if you run your hand over it?
No, it's some kind of printing where it's like, it's a little bit, very slightly.
You can feel just a little bit. Well, I was talking more in the back too, because the back has all that detail and stuff. So
yeah,
a little bit.
I've heard it's pretty good. I mean, I haven't washed it, but I would flip it, put it in a bag. Be careful. Yeah, but so far it looks good. And also I have this.
Nice. Beanie.
Yeah, and check it out. On my light, whatever. It's like this raised embroidery.
Oh yeah,
okay. It's a nice thick one.
Yeah, I was like, I have to pay more for it, but I really wanted it, and it's totally worth it.
So yeah, that's cool.
You can get these on my store as well. It's separate from the campaign, but next campaign I'll have like some exclusive stuff. But you can get it now. Yay! Okay, get this.
Nice.
Reenie beanie, I love it.
The Reenie beanie. There should be a little tag in it that says Reenie beanie.
I should call it the Reenie beanie. Yeah.
You have to.
Starkey said it's the Reenie beanie. Hey, okay, let me get out.
Yeah, you got someone to mail in. He'll wear it.
Yeah, I heard. I didn't know that. Actually, I think he did say he was bothering Shane about sending him a beanie, but I didn't know why. Okay, now I know why. Yeah, Malin, you're going to get a beanie.
There you go.
Yay. Promote my book for me. I'm just kidding. You don't have to. But you get a free beanie. There you go. Yay. Okie dokie.
Oh, so cool.
So, Welcome, everybody. We are here today to talk about KOR-DRATH, which is written by Dennis and drawn by Andy. And you guys are co-creators on this awesome fantasy project. And we might be joined by Dan Plagle, Boop Dan. So we're going to have hopefully a mini fantasy roundtable. This should be fun.
Nice.
And forewarning to everybody, expect us to be talking about tabletop role-playing games until like 3 a.m. today. So you have been warned. All right, let's jump into it.
I don't understand how you go to work in the morning.
I don't either. Malin only wants the first beanie. Well, this one's the first beanie. What? He has to be special. He has to be special. Oh my gosh, so spoiled.
First edition. I don't think the first run, the very first beanie, number one off the assembly line.
As in he gets it. As in technically you got it first, but he gets it second, which would make him first because you don't count.
Oh shit! I thought I sent Dan the link. I didn't. Okay.
Uh-oh.
I pulled a Shane, everybody.
Oh no. It says link, please.
Oops. There you go. All right. He has a link now. All right, let's go. Holy shit. Stop playing tabletops when computer games came out. Oh, well, that's a weird thing. I never got into computer games. I think it's this weird situation where, hi, Dan.
Hello, friends.
What's up, Dan?
I'm so good with links. I've got this. I've got my shit together.
I was like, oh, she's just going to talk with Andy. That's cool. I'll sit in and listen to this. And then she goes,
she told us
maybe Dan will pop in.
Just waiting on you.
I was like, maybe Dan will pop in sooner or later, whenever he stops being lazy. And then
if I had a link,
you just send me the link.
That's right.
That's the worst. But yeah, I never got into computer games. I played a few that I like. I like God of War and like some horror games like Amnesia. But my problem was it wasn't immersive enough. I think games nowadays are like the graphics are better, so it feels more immersive. But it always bothered me that I couldn't literally make any choice I wanted. But with tabletop games, I felt like I could really be in the world. Like I was really another character. And so I enjoy pen and paper games more because of that.
See, I'm old school. I started with both simultaneously, but I'm going back into the days where the Commodore 64, the Apple IIc, so Bard's Tale, Archon, the original D&D, Wizardry. I mean, the old school stuff. And I always stayed with computer games. I never really went console. A lot of my friends, my son, daughter, they went console. I kind of stayed and still am to this day, computer games.
I remember the old, like, there used to be I think it was Commodore or one of those had Commander Keen, and they had a Conan game that was like a stick figure guy. You'd watch him walk like sideways through a building, and he made like weird little like ticky-tacky noises as he walked.
Yeah.
Is it the fighting one?
It's a fighting one. It's a side scroller, like kind of like Mario, and you'd made your way up through like a tower, and you have to jump onto little ropes.
Oh, there was one called Karateka that was the original classic.
Wow.
You had nothing. You went punch up, punch forward, kick down, kick up.
Sounds like
that was the entire game.
Oh my god.
Karateka.
Everybody and their mama is live right now. So.
I got my mugs in the mail today, my pint glasses.
But you should stay here with us because
the printing is terrible on them.
That's right.
Oh yeah. Dan, somebody asked, do you have a merch store too? You've got some merch to show.
I do. I just got the samples of the glasses in, and the vintage ones look all right, but I don't know if you can see very well on here, but there's like weird banding, like it's like the end of like like your home, you're getting every last bit of color ink out, and then it gets that point where it stripes. It did that to the glasses. These two were the only ones that were reasonably nice, so I had to go online and like take all the other ones down because the other ones looked horrendous.
Oh, really?
I got them, and I was like, which is part of the reason why I hadn't promoted them yet, is because I just didn't. I wanted to see what it would look like before, so that people weren't like super disappointed. And like, if they would have got the other ones, which sucks because the other ones are really cool. I have them over here. I'll have to go grab them, but even these, like this one here, if you can see a little bit. There's like
I
banding.
I can't see it on the
It's
camera.
really hard to see.
It's tough to
Yeah.
see. We'll take
Yeah,
your word.
I-
It doesn't
You can
look
kind of
good.
see it on the logo there.
Yeah,
Like at the
I
bottom.
imagine
Oh,
Yeah.
a lot of
that's
these
right.
things,
Okay.
like artwork, is hard to transfer. I'm
I
worried
know.
about the embroidery as well because I have a beanie that's also just my Hellion Arts logo, which is smaller. So I'm worried, but
Yeah.
what can you
So-
do? Yeah.
Beware with the Teespring with the pint glasses. I'll grab the other ones so you can see how dark they came
Yeah.
out.
Show us.
But
Back
these two
Spanish
are right
too
for
on
left them up.
Indiegogo. Thank you for that username. Says they got Chris Gore to give my campaign a couple of shout outs. Thank you. Hey, everybody should do that when you're on other people's streams. Just force them to shout out our campaigns. Thank you
There we
very
go.
much. You guys
I
are
like this one.
I don't know. Sweet.
Now that I look at this one, it's not terrible, but when you look at it in person, you can see the banding on it.
Yeah, I can't really
But-
see on that one. Looks.
You can see it a little bit
Oh,
in
yeah,
the
you can
shine.
see it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
in the
wonder if I
shine
can-
on it.
Oh yeah, in the shine.
I don't know. Yeah, you can see
Yeah.
a little bit in there. It's these were like so bad. My
Dan.
Leah was like, she's like, just contact customer service and tell them, and I'm just like, yeah, but I don't know what they're gonna be able to do other than give me my money back for these wrecked ones. But it's like,
How many did you
yeah,
order?
this one's almost invisible. It's so dark.
Oh wow.
It's like muddy as
That
all
hell mug Renee has with her coffee.
Yeah.
Hell mug.
Problems.
This
But
is
that's
what
enough of my
happens
woes.
to
Let's
my
talk about-
enemies.
Andy Smith's KOR-DRATH Reckoning.
Yes, KOR-DRATH.
KOR-DRATH.
No. Yeah. So, you don't do the D&D stuff, but all of the D&D stuff ever.
You know, it's
Exactly.
funny. I don't do that sarcasm, and yet here's everything that's put out since the original box set.
Yeah, so you have been playing D&D since way back in the day. I only got into Pathfinder a few years ago, and I mostly played Pathfinder. I played some D&D 5e. I felt like it was unsatisfactory for me, but I haven't tried earlier edition of D&D. So you can tell me all about that.
No.
I'm going to be honest. My favorite all time is probably second edition.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Why
I
is
do
that?
have a fondness for the original box set and the original AD&D, but second edition was probably my most fun. Third edition, that's when we actually got into Pathfinder because third edition came out. 3.5 took over, which revamped some of the rules, and it was good, but it wasn't really good. So my friends and I that we played with since high school, we started coming up with our own rules. We got like a 117-page document together of what we were changing. Pathfinder came out, and literally 90% of our 117-page document was in Pathfinder. So we just played Pathfinder and just set it from the Forgotten Realms into Pathfinder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I know Pathfinder it's essentially D&D 3.5. It's because people were they didn't want D&D to get
Actually, it was
easier.
3.7.5. It was just the one step beyond because they fixed a lot of the issues with 3.5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't. And Pathfinder 2 is kind of weird. I haven't played it. It's got this weird like resonance rules or something. But I heard death rules are brutal. You don't get to go below 0 anymore. Anyways, yeah. I felt I would like to play earlier D&D so I can get a feel for what it's like.
Well,
Javier
I'll ask
Parks
you
says-
this. Do you know what
Oh,
a
yeah.
THAC-O is?
No.
Okay. That tells me all I need to know.
Well, damn. Do you feel the judgment? Do you feel
that
the
is it is a judgment. It's just THAC-O was to hit armor class 0. So before the D20 system, that's how you figured out the armor class in order to hit everybody. So you actually went down in negatives. It's a completely different system. But anybody who's ancient like me, as soon as you say THAC-O, yeah, you know, look at yeah, Alex Verb to hit armor class 0. Good job. You got to be old like me then.
Now, Alex Verb is the resident, knows everything about D&D and all of its editions person. So Alex will be very active in chat, I expect. It's he'll be very happy. Rest in peace, Kim Jung-hee. Yes. Yes. Quick.
God, I can't believe that. I read that this morning. I never met the man. I saw him. in person at a con, but I never actually met him. But man, when I read that, and then what really hit me, obviously besides his death, was the fact that he was only 47.
Yeah.
I got to be honest, I thought he was older than us, older than me and Dennis. And
I thought he was in his 50s, but
so did I.
He's
so did
still
I.
not that old, like, because I've seen him. I saw him in LA a few years ago, and I mean, he's really not that old.
I was
no,
lucky
47 is not old at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw Billy Tucci was posting quite a few on it. So yeah, it was a hard hitting one, surprising.
Yeah. I mean, it's like I met him once, but it's not like I talked to him. But it's more the fact that, I mean, it's an artist, and when it's, you know, you admire someone for their craft, he isn't just a celebrity. Like, he's another artist, and he's really fucking good.
Oh my God, he was so good.
He's like once in 100 years kind of talent. He would, all those huge drawings he did from his memory. I think he had like a photographic memory or something. And I mean, this happened right after Mura as well. This is a shitty year, you guys.
Plus, with those huge drawings and stuff he did, most of those were straight up pen, right?
Brush. He would get like a fucking.
Well, that's what I meant.
Brush.
But you know what I mean. It wasn't like he penciled something first. He just was like,
he didn't pencil
boom.
anything. Everywhere he went, that's what his art shows. He just get a giant like blank wall, and not one pen, because a pen would fucking run out. But he just draw from memory, no pencils, and and then he would do like perspective and all kinds of weird creatures. Like, his brain was built different than most people.
Yeah.
So like, when I think you know, artists and his fans being sad about it, it's that he's gone way too young, just like Mura, but also he's a master, and like, the world is so unfair. Life is unfair.
That's insane.
Yeah, and one of the guys just posted about Loretta Lynn. Paul did, because Loretta Lynn passed away yesterday. So yeah.
I was lucky enough to be able to meet him and spend some time with him with Dan Frago years ago.
Javier, awesome. Disavow the last part of that. We won't wish that. Disavow.
No. But see, the thing with Loretta Lynn, and I'm not speaking ill of her. I mean, how old was she?
Yeah, she's like 70 something.
No, she was older than that, wasn't she?
Was
Loretta
she?
Lynn.
I thought it said 72 or something on her thing.
Oh, I take it back then, because that's really, I mean, that's not super young, but 72 is not that old either.
Yeah.
Anymore. So that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
See, Richard Cahill says 90, but she wasn't that old. Okay. Paul Taylor says 90. Natural Stag says 90. Dennis, are you Googling it?
I am. I am. She was born in 32.
She's 90.
Yeah, she was 90. All right, I take it back. She had a great life.
90 is fine. 90 is
sorry, my number's wrong.
It's one of those things, and I'm not being heartless, but I think once you hit 90, you know, and I have relatives that age. Once you hit 90, it's kind of like you had a great run.
Well, you kind of, everyone starts expecting it, and I think you would expect it yourself. Like, but
I think at that age you're just like, you're just like, yeah, you know, I had a good run. Let's see how much longer we can take this sucker.
Yeah.
You know,
my dad's at like, he's 74 right now, and he's like, he's selling all those things off. He's like, I'm preparing to die. Like,
whoa.
Yeah. So yeah, at a certain point, you get to a certain age, and you're like, yeah, man, I've lived it, you know?
I think so. Yeah, I know people like that too, but it's nature. But both Kim Jong-gi and Mura, I'm just, I don't know. It's weird, and they both had sudden heart. Both of them sudden heart problems, right?
Yeah.
What the fuck, man? Like, I'm not want to be like, oh my god, artists take care of yourselves, like mom mode. But seriously, I think a lot of artists need to watch their health more, because it's this sort of
I think one of the other things is also, everybody's going off about like, oh, America sucks, I'm gonna go live in France. Yeah, go live in France. Look how well their health system saved somebody that was like, I'm feeling like a little bit of pain of a heart situation, goes in and then dies. Like, whereas other people like Kevin Smith, like, nearly dies on stage, they rush into the hospital and they save his life. So not anything, but the French medical system, maybe not the greatest.
Because Kim was in France, he was just finished with the show,
and he was in great shape.
Yeah, that's the thing. He wasn't, you know, he looked fit. You know?
He's not overweight. He's really fit.
But you know, a guy I worked with at Marvel on one of my first books, Mark Grunwald, great editor. He was 42 when he passed away. It was a heart attack. He woke. It was like 25 years ago, 26 years ago. He woke up. He woke up in the morning, just something didn't feel right, and then basically that was that. And this dude was slight of build. I think he was a runner and stuff. Mark was a great guy, and it just, that was it. Just took him. So
yeah, I actually had a teacher that died when I actually was in school with him. He was in his 40s. He was a jogger, ran every day, physical fit, peak fitness. He could have been Captain America, and then just heart attack, Widowmaker, just like that.
Just look at this dude's stuff. It's so good.
Yeah.
Well,
it's just phenomenal.
I have a couple.
There we go. That's a better one.
Yeah.
I got a couple original pieces by him.
Oh my fucking God. I hate you.
Well, it was when he was, it was like right at we went and saw him, I think like at his first American sort of demo thing that he did that was in Los Angeles at this art place. And they had a bunch of stuff for sale in the lobby. And I'm pretty sure if you buy any of his art books, they all have an original in the front of them.
I want to say you're right, because the year that he was doing that, did he go down to San Diego? Was it around that time?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So that was the year, because I remember looking through the art book and stuff in San Diego and just, being amazed. And yeah, I think you're right. I think all the art books, the art book wasn't cheap, of course, but had like a, something in it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, look, this is, that's him, obviously, but
the
walls behind him, he would just like this, a brush, look, an entire giant blank canvas. And I saw him in LA, I think it was 2014 at like this concept art show convention thingy majiggy. Because I was trying to get into concept art, and I got one of his art books, but I don't have it right now. I left it in Taiwan.
One of the guys is asking, Dan, do you still have that original art?
I do. Hold on real quick. I'll go grab it.
Yeah, and just look at him. Dude doesn't look like he's in bad shape at all.
No,
I don't know where the big piece is that I bought. It was just the original because I put it away somewhere. But I have the.
Holy shit! Look at this. But like heart problems, you don't know. Sometimes if you're not regularly checking, they just happen out of the blue.
Well, and that's that is one of the things. I mean, obviously we don't know his background and stuff, but I just had my yearly physical. I hit it every year. Get a physical every year.
Yeah. Oh, this is blurry. God damn it! I want something higher resolution. But yeah, really good artist. That's sad. Yeah. So, rest in peace to Master Kim. He was a master.
Yep.
And Mira was 54. Guy saying in the chat. Holy crap!
52 or 54. Yeah.
Oof.
I keep this right next to Graham Nolan's oversized Monster Island.
Eric Aguabook for $5 just says Andy.
I know. Thank you, Eric.
Andy for $5.
Hello.
Thank you, Eric.
That's $1.25 a letter. That's pretty good.
Damn right.
Yep.
So this is from.
That's
really wanted to say your name. He loves
this
you.
This is from 2016.
Ooh, let me.
See.
Wait, your camera is off, Dan.
Oh, it's off. I'll turn it on right now.
That would help.
Let me
put it on the clapper.
Switch to my 2 cam.
Let me catch up on chat. Oh my God. Oh, thank you for the links. Hey, Matt Barr, what up?
What's up, Matt?
Hey, there's Matt again.
Frego's really.
Yeah,
I think
Frego's probably beside himself because
he probably
was really good friends with Dan.
Oh man.
Dan was talking to him on the internet before he even came to the US.
Oh wow.
Man.
Yeah, it's where Dan started. Dan started that free-forming like art thing when he was working. I think it was at Mattel.
I was just saying, yeah.
And then he was communicating with him through them because that's when he found him. And then Dan turned me on to him. Like he had some of his books because I was also a Kitsuya Terada fan also, and he had some of his stuff.
Yeah.
But so this was the book. It came in this thing. There was another thing it came with, which was like a sketchbook that they gave us at the show and some other stuff. I have all that at Ephemera as well. But so I got this. It's still in this box.
Ooh.
Oh, I even love the fact that it's black back.
That's cool.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. This is the This is from the exhibition.
I don't actually know if mine has an original because I think mine was like a 2012 edition of the sketchbook. It's way early.
Simon Lee was there too. Him and Simon Lee, they did basically Simon Lee does a sculptural form of what Kim Jung-gi does, where he like makes sculptures just out of like right there in front of you, like real fast.
Oh, that's cool.
And so he did a piece that was awesome. It was a dude up in a tree without any leaves in it, and it was like a bunch of like animals or something like that trying to get to the dude up in the tree with like a spear. It was really cool. But this was cool. from the thing. I still have the booklet. But so in here.
Oh, nice.
Oh, cool.
That is awesome.
That's cool.
For all his sketchbook, I mean, this probably takes him like 10 fucking seconds.
I remember used to be able to watch a video. He would post a video live on his thing every time he did a new sketchbook, and it would just be him going through each book and doing sketches in them. And I remember on one of them, I watched him and I saw him make this one before I went down there.
Oh, that's awesome.
I was like, hey, I saw him draw that one.
Doesn't this just make you want to drop everything, sit in a cave and draw for the rest of your life?
Dude,
until you're even remotely as good as him.
The pieces in this book, like, it's insane.
Yeah. Holy shit. Someone said Ricada just got nuked from YouTube.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh my God.
I don't know what the deal is with that.
What happened?
Ricada Law
got nuked from YouTube, apparently.
Oh my God. They must have said something controversial, like,
oh no,
like the sky is blue.
Like water's refreshing.
Right.
2 + 2 is 4. How dare you?
Must have actually said something that made people feel bad.
Like these pieces, man.
Well, I guess he's just joining Russell Brand, I guess.
It's not like 5 kids. It's not like his 5 kids need to eat or anything, YouTube. Holy shit. I'm so tired of this shit.
Yeah. I mean, this
Russell Brand got nuked too?
Crazy.
Yeah, he went over to Rumble.
Oh my God, I'm so tired.
Yeah, and he just hit 6 million subscribers on YouTube.
Yeah.
And he says,
He's
you
great.
can keep coming here, but now just come join me on Rumble.
Yeah. Yeah, I like him. He's just enough crazy.
The other thing that was really weird was I literally just saw him in San Diego and I went and said hello to him, and I had mentioned, I was like, yeah, I went with Dan Fraga to see you back in the day, and he's like, oh yeah, I remember that. And like, he's really nice. His English is was still kind of not the greatest, but
yeah,
you must have.
Ricetta's Twitter got blown up too.
Oh really?
Yeah,
they're trying to erase everybody with a different view. Well, Elon Musk supposedly is buying Twitter finally, so maybe that'll get fixed.
At full
price.
Make
it happen. Please make it happen, and please buy YouTube as well.
No.
That would be awesome.
That would be awesome.
That would be so good.
I mean, I would normally be a little worried about one person owning this many platforms, but if you really look into who owns all the other platforms, it's the same few rich people in the same company. Yeah, and look at all the companies and newspapers that Jeff Bezos owns. Elon Musk owning a couple of platforms is not that big of a deal.
No, especially if he opens it up and says free speech.
Yeah, he just wants. Yeah, I'd much rather somebody who just wants free speech.
That is a great book, though, Dan. That really is.
Yeah, it's an awesome book. I open it up every once in a while to look through it for sort of inspirational stuff, because like he has a really good way of drawing stuff in like a kind of a my stuff sometimes like starts leaning cartoony, and I will look at someone like him that draws stuff that's more like gritty, like this piece here with like texture, to kind of rein me back in a little bit, be like, oh, this is a better way to handle that, or stuff like this, how he does like, brickwork in the road.
I really like looking at his work, because I tend to get too technical, and he's so loose and flowy.
Yeah.
Like it helps me get in that headspace of, like, when you look at an artist's work and you're like putting yourself in their point of view and feeling their art, and it kind of helps you emulate their work more. So like, I like
he wasn't just a one-trick pony. His art, it's got modern stuff, it's got ancient stuff, it's got everything in between. It's just whatever he had in his craw to draw, he just drew.
Yeah, he could draw absolutely fucking anything.
There's a poster print that came with this. I forgot this was in here.
Life isn't fair for this
You'll
much
be able to see
talent
the whole
to die
thing.
young.
It's a big long poster print.
That is neat.
This
cool.
is like key type of stuff he was known for. It's just these big screen, these big
look
shots
at that.
just full of people.
I know. Look at that dude riding a bike and stuff, the motorcycle and stuff in the foreground. It's just the perspective on it and everything.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
And the fact that he can just stand there without even looking at anything and just go, I'm going to do this and then put this back here and that. It's just amazing.
That's totally a photographic memory.
Yeah, you look at this thing up here. It's like the top of a fort with like some cannons, like looking out, like over like, I don't know, like Puerto Rico or something. I don't know. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's birds.
It's a random elephant over there. Oh my god.
Yeah, the elephant. Well, there's a dude riding the elephant with like a mace. It's like super cool.
Yep.
Yeah. It's sad, man. Every time we lose someone that's that creative, it's like a huge hole. Oh, wait a minute. There's yet another piece in here.
Oh wow. Yeah, like Mobius
wow.
it was also sad for Mobius, but at least he was old as shit. He was like 80 something, right?
Yeah, Mobius, another one.
He was up there. Yeah.
He was up there.
Yeah.
He wasn't as old as Loretta Lynn.
Yeah, he wasn't Loretta Lynn old.
No, he wasn't that old.
I'll have to frame these one of these days. Put them in my kids' room.
You know, when Dennis gets to Loretta Lynn's age, instead of just saying goodbye when he leaves, I'm going to say, "Hope I see you tomorrow, buddy."
Oh shit!
You know, the funny thing is, especially since you got a lot of role players here, a lot of my friends and stuff, we all said when we retire, we're all going to retire into the same home. And then we're literally going to get up in the morning, start role playing, and we'll role play all night, put our dentures back in our mouth, and away we go.
There you go.
That sounds good for me. That's my retirement plan. Just play tabletops all day. Yeah. Oh no. People are saying they're depressed. Well, sorry.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, no. Don't be depressed.
Hey, everybody. There's still creative stuff happening in the world.
It is sad. I know. Yeah. I want to
I'm
share
gonna
this.
Look at those horses and stuff, the legs moving and stuff. That's great.
I'm gonna lift this eventually, and I'm gonna call it an homage.
I think most people know his work, but maybe someone doesn't. I want to share it. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at this. This astronaut, or is I don't know if it's an astronaut or it looks like a diver. He's got like a shark attached to him.
Oh yeah.
That was the thing we watched him make at the exhibit. There was like I think a drawing might actually be in here of it. It was a girl sitting in a chair inside of a shark suit. It was like really cool looking. I don't know if it's in here or not.
Where is it in there?
I thought he had it. I thought I had something that had a photo of it, or it was in something. Maybe it was in one of his other books. But yeah, I wish I would have bought more of these books because I think they're now going to sell out and we're not going to have access to them.
Yeah.
I think his family should keep selling the books though, because I mean,
sure,
these books, I think they're perennial as illustration pieces, you know.
Of course they should start. Well, of course they should continue
selling
the books. Yeah. Why
there it is. That piece right there with the shark in the chair.
Oh, cool.
No, it's not so cool. He liked to draw a lot of tattooing people too.
Wow.
Did you see the one of the mermaid that he did where he's like they're making sushi out of the mermaid on the table?
Oh.
No, I saw the one where it was like
That
these
piece is
ancient people in ancient Korean outfits butchering a dragon. Like they had just killed and hunted a dragon. They were cutting it apart on the ground.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
Yeah.
There's
so many drawings. Yeah. Snark is like, hey kids, I think Snark is getting depressed. He wants us to talk about comics.
Hey kids, it's comics.
Let's talk about comics, shall we? Okay. Wait. This is enough of a tribute to Mr. Kim.
Yeah, we at least had to share a little bit of time because the master died today.
I know. I mean, it would have been on our minds if we didn't say anything anyways.
He's a earlier I'd said something to myself and I said, yeah, that's about accurate. He's a he was
Who's that? Is that Black Widow?
Yeah, that's what I was going to guess.
It doesn't really
yeah,
look like
that's
her.
the Marvel piece he did. He did a giant 2-page splash Marvel piece.
This is really good.
Yeah.
This looks like this is pencil. I want to see this color. Probably don't. Actually, no.
He rarely does anything in pencil. He goes straight into ink.
It must be kind of. Oh, it's like dryish brush then. That's why, because it has this texture to it.
Yeah.
It looks like it could be pencil, but then you look at the blacks, then that's
Maromi
definitely
says Civil War II. That's actually what I was going to say. It looks like a Civil War II.
Oh, you know what? That's probably what it was used for.
Yeah. Huh. I mean, I don't. Black Widow's bothering me though. That doesn't look like Black Widow. It looks like a 12-year-old girl. It's like that weird feeling with Motoko Kusanagi and Ghost in the Shell Arise. Like, that's Kusanagi? That's Kusanagi?
That's right.
What? All right, yeah. Mildly disturbing. She also looked like a 12-year-old girl there. Let's talk about comics. So,
yes.
KOR-DRATH. Why don't you start from the beginning? How did this idea come about? First of all, what are your backgrounds real quick, and then let's slide that into how did you guys work together on this, and how did this come about?
Pedigrees. Well, I started drawing comics in 1991, and Renee was born 2 years after that, probably, so I'm old.
She was a beautiful child.
Let's pretend I was.
So no, I started drawing professionally in 91, working for DC, then Marvel, then Image, and
damn, really?
Yep. And Valiant, Acclaim, whatever, same company, but and then back to Marvel and DC and CrossGen eventually in 2000. 2000 to 2003 CrossGen, then back to doing freelance stuff for DC and Marvel, and Dynamite was a crossover with DC. That's where I first drew fantasy stuff like this, because I did a Red Sonja Claw crossover.
Nice.
And then after that, pretty much started doing this stuff my own stuff a couple years ago. So
what projects at CrossGen were you on?
Well, when I first started there, I was working with Bart on the first as his inker.
Oh, that's a great book.
And then I took over drawing it. I did a couple before I took over drawing the first. I did one issue of Meridian, one issue of Sigil, one issue of Negation, and then I think that was it. Those three. Oh no, I did an issue of Crux as well. And I did a couple pinups, Mystic. What was the other one? Oh, Scion. I did a pinup for fun.
There we go.
And then I took over penciling the first for about 10 issues. I think I did.
The first was awesome. That was a great book.
Yeah, that was fun. And then when that ship sank, I got off the Titanic before it was underwater, and went back and did I did a creator thing. Actually, yeah, one of the first things after that was a creator-owned book I did at Image called Armor X with a buddy of mine. And that was 4 issues. And then Dynamite put it out as a trade paperback like a decade ago. And then actually about 3-4 years ago, an Italian company wanted to publish it. So we let them. So I've got 10 Italian copies. I can't really do anything with them. It's not like I can read them. But I just wanted them because... it's in a different language. And then in between, I put out 2 how to draw books, drawing dynamic comics and then drawing American manga superheroes. I teamed up with a guy and put out a sketchbook called the How to Draw Superhero Sketchbook, where it's this guy's idea. And basically you draw right inside the sketchbook over blue line drawings I did. And then the further you get into the book, it's less of my drawing, and you start having to fill in the gaps on what you learned.
That's a good idea.
It's kind of like leveling up as you go along.
Yeah, it's like leveling up as you go along. And I did that, and now I'm doing this stuff. So There you go.
Chad says you're the young guy on the professional.
I wish I was. Dan
Hope
is.
that makes you feel better.
Yeah.
Really? Dan's younger than you?
Yeah, Dan's younger than me.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
He's like 5 years younger than me. So
I think
Really?
the year you started working for Marvel might have been the year I started drawing.
So you?
No, I don't think I was. No, I don't think I was drawing yet. Was I? Yeah, just
91?
about right. Yeah.
Not professionally, Dennis. She just means drawing as a kid, I assume.
Crayon.
Yeah.
Never stopped.
So yeah. Well,
And
then
you
if
guys
you started
first
drawing at
contract?
that age, I was doing that in let's see, probably 1973.
Wow.
Comparable. So
Wait a minute. 1973 is
you
when
don't
you
look your
started drawing?
age.
probably not professionally, but as a kid, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, everyone draws as a kid.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. Well, I get it. People will ask artists, "Well, when did you start drawing?" I mean, everyone draws as a kid. It's just professional artists never stop.
Well, that's what I tell people is like my daughter drew as a kid when she was 2, because that's the first thing they learn to do. You put crayons in their hands and they start doodling and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And, I remember when we first moved up to North Carolina, she was only 2 years old. And, my wife would go to work and she was home with me. And in my office, I had one of those little Playmate or whatever drawing tables that a 2-year-old would sit at. And she'd sit at that and color and stuff while I was working. But the difference, as I always tell people, is people like us, we never lose the itch. We just want to keep doing it and keep getting better and moving forward. Whereas a little kid discovers, oh, I know how to do this with crayons and stuff. And then they discover something else and they move on, so on and so forth. And that's what my daughter did compared to, us, where we just keep singularly focused wanting to draw.
Yeah, most kids grow up and eventually develop a social life. That didn't happen to me.
Right. I didn't have one either.
So I assume for everyone else here, so we just continue drawing on our own in a dark room.
Exactly.
And now we're here. Yeah. So, what about you, Dennis?
I guess some of us were social then, because I didn't start drawing because I suck at drawing.
Congratulations.
My first hand, one of these days I'll pull it out. I actually drew a comic book. It was a Star Trek manga version comic book, because I could draw the Enterprise, but I can't draw people. So
some people are like that.
Like that's my First Man, and actually this was She, but it's the same as First Man.
Wow!
I know, that's good, right?
I drew that for
amazing.
Billy. So I said, there, you've got a She. I drew a She and a First Man now. So yeah, I suck.
Amazing.
No, I grew up on comics. I started collecting X-Men back in the mid 70s. So yeah, I am kind of old. And
it's okay.
Show off.
Yeah, I know. But, I'm a comic book guy. I'm actually a comic book appraiser. My background's actually IT. That's what I did for, my main job. I owned a business doing the B2B communications and stuff like that. But I've been collecting comics hardcore since, the 70s. And I went back and collected all the X-Men. That was my passion. That was my goal, was to go all the way back, even before me, and get X-Men #1 from 1963 signed by Stan Lee. That was my ultimate goal. And thankfully I was able to do that before he passed away. So, but yeah, no, I appraise comic books, and been playing D&D since, and all role-playing games, all sci-fi, cyberpunk type games, Star Trek, Star Wars, all of that stuff since 84, 83, Marvel superheroes. Yeah. So all I can say is I've got a big background in gaming, running DMing and stuff. We were just actually joking with my buddy who I used to run in the games with, I'd have 20, 30, 40 page, we'd meet once a month in person. We would do story, through emails, and then we would meet once a month with our big battle plans and stuff. But I would have 30 page, 40 page battle plans for that one sitting. So yeah, it was very involved, and I'm just kind of big into all the nerd sci-fi fantasy superhero stuff.
You know, my lifetime goal is to get a signed copy of X-Men #1 signed by Stan Lee as well, and I know where to get one. So
you know.
Oh, funny how that works, huh?
I know, right?
You know, I think you're mocking me.
Why would I do that?
I think Dennis needs to watch his back, is what I'm thinking.
Oh, look, there it is.
Jeez.
I'm a little worried for you now. Oh.
I wasn't even
Oh,
gonna.
no.
I usually don't even have this out, but I had to bring it out for another stream. Oh wow, it's just not going to focus with all that light.
Take it out of the bag, Dennis.
It's also built into this. No, I normally don't have this at home, but I had to pull it from a stream, so I have to take it back to the safety deposit box.
Before you take it out of the bag, be sure to dip your hands in some like fried chicken or something.
Yeah, that.
Oh
works
my God!
Well. I heard it.
You should totally
good shine.
Dennis, I don't want you to have to drive all the way to the bank. I'll do it for you because I'm such a pal.
You are such a nice guy.
I'll come pick it up. Just tell me the bank. Give me the key to the safety deposit box. I'll make sure it gets there safe and sound.
Yeah.
See you in the Caymans.
So I don't know what it's worth right now. I haven't really checked it out because there aren't that many of them. It's a 8.5 signed by Stan. And I do know that here was the funny part. CBCS, they handed it to me, hand delivered it to me because I graded it on site. And the guys, there were a bunch of guys around the table looking at it and they're like, oh my God, is that X-Men #1? 8.5 signed by Stan. I'm like, yep. So one guy goes, dude, I'll give you 35,000 right now. And wow. I'm like, no, I'm good. Well, it's funny. I did crack it open to get Stan to sign it because I bought a 9.0 slabbed one. And then I cracked it in order to get Stan to sign it in a private signing. And it actually went down a half a grade. So some guys were mad at me, but I'm never selling it. And then the other guy that was standing next to me offered me 50,000 for it. And I was like, no. And
well, that's the problem when you crack a book.
signed it and it went down half a grade?
Well, when you crack a book, it'll generally go down.
Oh,
because
well, it'll be worth more in the long run.
You got different people touching it. So therefore, something's going to probably happen. So it wasn't the end of the world.
No.
Yeah. That's it. You got Stanley's signature. That's
exactly
right. And that's what I always wanted. My daughter, I said it's going to be buried with me. My daughter said, that's okay. When you're dead, I got a shovel.
Yeah. I was going to say, no one will know.
She might have a shovel, but I got a backhoe that works a lot faster than a shovel. So
I like your daughter fight over it.
What do you mean? I'll outlive you. It's okay.
I was just about to say, it's good to see you finally admit that I'll outlive you. It's taken this long, and you finally admit it.
Oh, man. Yeah, I'm just going to stay right here on this lovely Budroot cover.
That's right. You can tell Buddy did a great job when you meet him over the weekend.
Yeah. This is the one I got, by the way. I'm looking forward to my book. So how did the idea for KOR-DRATH come about?
We were driving to a con, and I was playing with different ideas of what I want to do next, campaign-wise, after First Man Volume 2. And I was just telling Dennis, that I want to do something different, something in a Conan type genre, because I enjoyed it a lot when I did the Claw miniseries at DC and, Red Sonja as well. And I knew Dennis's background in role-playing games and stuff. And I really do think he's an expert when it comes to the knowledge of all those different games and just that genre, just from, going over to his house and seeing all the different novels he's read as well. I mean, he's not just a comic guy. He's into all the fantasy novels. And like he said, he's written campaigns, he's written short stories and things like that. And I've talked to him before about just hearing some of his ideas. So I threw it past him, is this something you'd want to get involved with? And, he was involved knowing what goes into this type of a campaign in general, just from my previous two, being around and stuff. And, he liked the idea. So we just my first thing was it's got to have obviously a strong male lead, but I also like to balance things out with a female counterpart, whether it's an ally or not necessarily a villain, not the bad guy, but, maybe somebody that, that kind of rides the line. And, for KOR-DRATH's case, we went with an ally, and that's Adriana. And other than that, I said, think about some stuff and, write up just like a basic 1-page outline of what you're thinking. Because I didn't want to be like, hey, Dennis, go write 20 pages for me to read and see what I think. It's like, nah, just write up like a 1-page outline and like a springboard, and I'll check it out and, give you my thoughts or whatever. We can go from there. And that's what he did. He wrote up, it was more than 1 page. It was a few pages, but still not a ton. And I was like, dude, this is really cool. I said, it definitely reads more than one book. So it's good that we have future stories to tell. Which one are we going to focus on in this outline? and we went with just not the very beginning of KOR-DRATH, but kind of, the introductory story, I guess.
And I only had one prereq, and that's what the hot girl has to look like. My favorite, Jean Grey, Phoenix. She got to have the red hair, the green eyes. That was the only requirement that I had going into this.
Oh,
said, okay.
That's a pretty simple requirement. Dennis is a simple man.
I was like, okay.
I'm an easy person.
You are.
Yes.
So, I mean, that was the basic gist. And then he just incorporated a lot of what he's learned, I guess, and from his role-playing days and Dungeons and Dragons and stuff like that into what I think is a very unique story.
Well, what helped was I kind of have, as I kind of told you way at the beginning, all the role-playing that we've done pretty much for Forgotten Realms in our campaigns forever. We decided we were going to try something different. So back in the late 90s, I started creating my own world. And we started developing it, and building it up and putting stuff together. And then it kind of fleshed. So I have all of this cool building outline, basic stuff of a really cool world. But we were like, let's go back to the realms and let's just stay there because everybody read all the novels. That's what they wanted. So we did it. So I've got this really cool world that's a nice basis. And it really made sense what we were talking. I'm like, I've got everything lined up in here. Let's just flesh out what we need, what we don't have done, and go for it. And that's what we've been doing.
So how many, we're going to get way into the D&D stuff, but how many books do you have planned? Because you said, is this a self-contained book? You're going to see how it does. Maybe you can do more.
It's self-contained just because I don't like doing every campaign I've done is a self-contained story. And while there are, like any story, little subplots that can carry through, the main thrust of the story will be wrapped up at the end of this book and concluded. So then when we do a next one, we could call it volume 2, or very well, we might just go with KOR-DRATH and then not the Reckoning, but whatever we deem a nice 1 or 2 word thing, underneath to take place of the Reckoning, because that is basically this, the title for this book. So yeah, it's a self-contained story, but with the amount that he wrote, there's easily 2 more, and there can be way more than that, of course, because you just keep building upon the world and stuff like that.
There's enough for probably 3 graphic novels just out of the first gate. So
right,
that's cool.
And how many pages is this book right here?
Well, it's 64 right now, but it'll probably it'll probably end up being more than that. I don't want to put an official number on it. We know for a fact it's 64, but it'll be more. We just don't know the page count yet. So we'll keep it under wraps until we figure it out.
It'll morph as Andy starts drawing it. It will morph one way or another a little bit, but no, it'll be more. You guys will be very happy.
Yeah, I like that. Nice hefty book. I mean, I think everyone's project is different, but I like backing books and I like making my books like thick, like, because
Sure.
people are waiting months for these books. So,
Right.
and we get to spend that extra time, because I think because we're not rushing to do one book every month, we get to spend more time on the art and tell bigger story arcs, and we should use that to our advantage. So I like seeing like real big books, at least 50 pages. So that's really cool.
No, I totally agree, because I look at this. Oh, look, Dennis, you have a friend in the chat, chat 69. Tell your friends not to show up on these streams, Dennis. Come on.
I can't help it. They haunt me.
Be
oh
polite.
no, Chat 69 is one of our best chat members as well.
That's true.
I know her well.
Good.
But no, I look at what we're doing with these books as what they do in Europe with basically the creators over there put out one album a year, you know, and I like that. And I think as long as the fans realize what the time frame is, that's totally cool. You know, if you tell somebody, you know, if you know, going back to, you know, Marvel and DC, the monthly comic, I don't have a problem with that, because it's a monthly book and that's what I expect. Now, if the book comes out, you know, a week late, I don't care. It's still a month, you know, whatever. But, you know, if a book comes out 5 months late and it's supposed to be a monthly book, there's a problem. Mm-hmm. But we're not, you know, we're telling people, you know, this is when it's going to come out. And then roughly, if you look at the timeline at least my previous two and now this one, it's basically one a year. And I think as long as people realize that, they don't have a problem. You know, it's the same with movies. A movie comes out, you generally, if it's a good movie that did really well and they announce a sequel, 9 times out of 10, the sequel is usually 2 years later. You know, now COVID effed everything up, so stuff like John Wick got pushed back, and you know, some other sequels, but generally it's 2 years later. The audience knows it, doesn't bother them. Mm-hmm. And I think as long as we're upfront with that, then, you know, they just go, hey, that was a great read. Looking forward to the next one. And the nice thing too is, you know, when they get this one, and you're going through this now with your second campaign of Fiendish, they're like, man, I just read that one. It's great. Oh, there's a second one. I can go pre-order it now. And, you know, the next thing you know, it'll be in your hands.
Yep, and I think one book a year, especially because we're doing these bigger books, and it's also crowdfunding, and we're doing everything ourselves, and some of us are writing and drawing the books.
Yeah,
that's a pretty good schedule. And I know that crowdfunding, there have been some people who have, you know, it's crowdfunding, people have fucked it up, and crowdfunding just has an iffy reputation. But once you've established yourself, you fulfilled a book or several books, the audience is open to like, to some people are waiting. I know some customers are waiting for you to, if you're a new creator, to fulfill your first book, and they want to know that, okay, this is for real, because it is hard. It's a lot of work to do, but you know, once you get your eggs all in line, especially with the first campaign, especially if you get more orders than you're expecting.
See, I think it's Christmas time. I don't even pay attention to the ship dates. I just, all of a sudden, oh, package showed up. Oh,
yeah, I don't either.
What did I get today?
But some people do, and like, what's more important is communication. You know, because with shit happens, and I'm sure you guys all know this. With large companies, they have sort of they're established. They have years of established history with printers and with distribution, but kind of a lot of us are still figuring these things out, and especially with COVID, way fucked things up. So printers are having problems left and right. So, but I've discovered with my own experience that as long as backers are informed, generally everybody understands. And you know, for me, I don't pay attention to whether a book has fulfilled at all. I kind of just back like 20 things, and then when they show up, they show up. I should probably not do that, but
no, but I'm right there with you. I've backed stuff, and like Dennis said, and like you said, I kind of back it and forget about it. And, you know, if I get an email update, of course I open it and I read it, just because, you know, there could be something important in there, like a link or something, or it's just an update. But when I get a shipping notification, and something shows up, it's like Christmas, and I'm like, oh, sweet. And I get it. And, you know, if something doesn't show up, and I've only had that happen, I've backed probably since I started backing stuff, and this includes Kickstarter, I don't know. I've probably only not gotten a couple things. Does it suck? Yeah, it sucks. Does it piss me off? Yeah, it kind of does. But you kind of know that going in, I guess. I mean, I'm not going to out the creator or anything, but I backed one book. This dude was just doing a 22-page comic. I thought it looked cool. It was $10. And yeah, you hear $10. And that's the other thing. People are like, oh, $10, a 22-page book should only be like 4 or 5. Look what Marvel and DC does. And I have an opinion on that too. But basically, so I backed it. Never came out.
Wow.
Never. And I'm friends with the dude. So I thought I was. So, I brought it up on Facebook. And he was like, oh, this is a weird place to bring this up.
Oh, shit.
And then, once the whole CG stuff, he unfriended me anyhow. So it's like, whatever.
Of course.
But the thing is, I'm just like, dude, it's a 22-page book. Are you effing kidding me? You got it overfunded. You're literally, I just can't imagine taking money like that.
How is it a weird place to bring it up? You bought his book and you're
right.
I know. Some people are
weird. What I was going to say is I've used this analogy before, but I think it's a real good one with what we do. The standard book is 64 pages, right? And it's $25. Now, yes, somebody could go, oh, I could get, a 4-issue trade paperback that Marvel collected for 17 whatever. 17.
Cool, go get it then.
It's 4 pages. Well, no, but here's my difference though. Or here's my analogy. My analogy is, yeah, and I can go to McDonald's and pay $1.50 for a hamburger, or I can go to a really nice restaurant and pay $10.50 for a hamburger that's a hell of a lot better. The service is better, the quality's better, and I'll have a better experience and remember it more. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm talking about. We're gourmet, is what I'm saying.
I think if what they're trying to say.
Quick, if you want it quick and easy, okay, that's fine. I'm not knocking monthly stuff. I went to the shop today, picked up a couple things, basically because of the artwork, because I still follow certain artists. But other than that, I think, like you said, we're not just creating the book from an art or writing standpoint as well. We're managing every part of it, whether, like for me, I don't do the lettering. So I work with a buddy of mine. So I'm not at that point yet. But when I am, I've got to deal with mailing, sending him the pages, getting them back, proofing it, blah, blah, blah. I've got to work with the colorist. So I'm like an editor there, managing that stuff. I'm the one that talks to the printer. Generally, when it comes to any stretch goals that we're going to do printing wise, I'll deal with that as well. And then, promoting the book is another full-time job. So yeah, when I was working on monthly books, I think my average output per year was like maybe 9 to 10 issues a year. So yeah, I'm doing less pages now, but there's a lot more work that goes into it. And I'm inking the stuff too. I backed the original cover. Oh, nice. Thank you. Well, now I know. I mean, I knew anyhow because I went and looked, but I obviously didn't connect your screen name with the person who backed it because the real name. But thank you very much. And yeah, that's cool. Thank you. And I will say I feel bad in a way. I was talking to Dennis about this because obviously the cover's here, right? So once the basic gist is you're not going to have to wait till November to get the cover because you bought, I just can't see me sitting on it when it's paid for, you know what I mean? Until I fulfill the book next November.
Yeah, well, don't feel bad. I think Snark understands. Well read. Hello.
Yes, and nice job last night.
Yeah, good job handling that whole fucking situation.
I was going to say I'd like to come on and chat with you as well, but that was a very good job you did last night. I thought you handled yourself really well.
Job of moderating and at least trying to get him to stay on point and answer a few questions. But man, as soon as you started that interview, his arms were crossed. He was ready for battle. So I didn't know what your communications were beforehand, but yeah, he was ready for you. But I thought you did a nice job. Kudos.
Now when Dennis comes over, we play a new game called Stupid or Liar. It's great fun. So it really is. I mean, it's amazing. You go on a road trip with your family. My wife and daughter and I are going down to Florida next week to visit my mom. And it's going to be like, screw the license plate game. Let's play Stupid or Liar.
How do you play that? I'm not getting it.
I don't know. I'm going to have to make up some rules for it. But basically,
Okay.
Mark was like, well, I posted that tweet and it was sarcastic. Let me play Stupid or Liar with you. And it's just
everything
like, shut
that
up.
well-read comics put out there, he goes, oh, well, you're either stupid or you're a liar. Which are you?
Yeah.
And then he would be like, well, I'm just asking a question because I didn't read sarcasm, into that. And he goes, oh,
Jesus.
you're a liar. And I was just like, wow. And I'm just like, no matter what he said or Ethan said, it was just amazing. It was, you're a liar, you're a liar. And Ethan's like, I don't have anything. I don't have other channels. I don't have, multiple accounts. And he goes, oh, yeah, now you're just lying. Well, if you got proof, that's what I would have said if I were Ethan. Show me proof that I do. I don't. So if you can prove to me and everybody watching that I do, but he couldn't because Mark, yeah. But anyway, Well-Read did an awesome job of trying to keep a very angry person quelled. Until
it's one of those things. It's hard to say, oh, that was sarcasm. You're just dumb and didn't get it. I mean, you can definitely write a tweet that's sarcastic and craft it that way, so people will obviously get that sarcasm. But even some of the great comedy or stand-up comedians who have written books, Jerry Seinfeld wrote a book, came out 25 years ago. I read. And some of the stuff just, you could hear it in his voice, but because you're reading it, it just didn't land,
Yeah.
So I'm not saying Mark wasn't, Mark could honestly have been, no, that was sarcasm. But you know what? Then on Twitter, you should have a function where you can say it and the person can hit play and hear it. So they can hear the sarcasm in your voice. Because reading what he wrote, I didn't really catch it as sarcasm either about that one comment. So.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty obvious when generally, if you're a mostly functional adult, and I'm starting to doubt that regarding Brooks right now, but if you can communicate sarcasm on Twitter, I mean, we weren't born yesterday, but who knows? I think that guy's got issues. Now goes Solo. Are you only working on KOR-DRATH now? Good question.
Right now I'm working on KOR-DRATH, and I do a few things outside of comics that I'm actually working on a project now over the next couple of weeks with KOR-DRATH for it's not a comic book project. It's outside of comics. It's an NDA thing, so I can't really say what it is, but so I do take on some jobs here and there because, it's they're fun to do and they do pay some bills. So
I gotcha. Yeah. You got to do that.
But I'd say right now it's 70% KOR-DRATH and 30% that, and once that job's wrapped up, it'll just be all KOR-DRATH. So
cool.
And you can tell because he posted the first pages 2 and 3 and then 4, and you guys get to see those.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw the inks that you posted. Do you have everything penciled out, or you're working just from the beginning?
Oh no, I do one at a time.
Okay.
I can't. I just, the way my brain works. I was telling Dennis this. I'm not a guy that can work out of order either. I mean, if I don't have a choice, like if the editor, and I have done jobs that way where the editor is like, "Look, man, I'm sorry, but here's 10 pages, but unfortunately, it's not 1 through 10. It's like 10 through 15 and 2 through 8, 6 or whatever, and then I don't have a choice. But when I have a choice, I've got to work in order. And if I don't, it's because there's like a scene break. So yeah, I started here with pages 2 and 3 and I went to 4 because page 1 has nothing at all to do with 2 and 3. So it wasn't like, it wasn't like I was jumping into the middle of this scene. This is the beginning of this scene on pages 2 and 3. So I was like, okay, this would be a good one. Plus, for the campaign, I want to draw something that I can put up that is going to be exciting and get people intrigued and stuff as well. So
very nice.
But yeah,
I just anatomy work.
Oh, I thank you.
Yeah. Muscles are hard. I still struggle with muscles, but I don't get it. Some artists struggle. I think it's a bit of a gender thing. Like men tend to draw men better at the beginning, and women. I have no problem drawing women at all.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. In art school, now granted, I went to the Kubert school, so we had like 2 girls out of the whole school of like 250 students.
Yeah.
But you could definitely tell that, girls, women drew the women better, and men obviously drew men better. But, the thing is, I'll admit, when I was a kid growing up, I wanted to draw superheroes, and I wanted to draw, I always make the joke, I want to draw buff dudes and hot chicks. But growing up, I gravitated towards Captain America and Superman, and that's what I drew. It probably wasn't until later in high school, before I started going to the Kubert school, that I started even thinking about trying to draw women. And part of it was, I was like, oh, that's kind of hard,
Yeah.
But then when you get to school, you don't have a choice. So
yeah. I never shied away from it really, but just anime or manga. I grew up reading manga, and I read mostly shonen, but still shonen. It's not a lot of like big muscle men. It's for a younger audience. Usually, it's like teenagers. So, I had forced myself to learn anatomy starting high school, but it's a slow struggle. People say they can't really notice that it's a problem for me. Well, I use reference. It's the main thing I use reference for. I think it depends on your style. Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with using reference. I mean, I don't look at him as much, but when I was in the Kubert school, we obviously had life drawing classes and stuff, and anatomy was a focus on it. And I've always been an anatomy buff, no pun intended. But the anatomy's always fascinated me, and I've always been into working out and stuff like that, and and just surface stuff. Obviously, I'm not into the musculature that you can't see. Yeah, I don't care. You can't see it, so what do I care? But the stuff you can see, that's another OCD thing where I just really try to get into it and stuff. But the flip side is, I look at guys I look at artists that are really stylized and just kind of learned it. There was a saying in art school, and you've probably heard it, whereas learn it and then forget it. Because if you keep trying to be too technical and stuff, it can just hurt you. So you want to learn it and forget it. It's the whole learn.
That was my problem. I was never told that. That's
yeah. Well, you want to learn the rules. You can't break the rules until you know the rules. Is another one that was taught.
Yeah, I have heard that. I didn't hear.
So, and I remember Ron Wagner, who he doesn't do comics anymore, but he was really big into drawing for Marvel and DC in the late 80s when he broke in, and then all through the 90s and early 2000s. And he went to the Kubert school. I had him as a substitute teacher, and he was one of the guys that was like, you need to learn the rules and then forget them, but once you know them, you can break them, because you can fake stuff. And as long as you know them while you're faking it, it looks right. And then the other, rule of thumb that Joe Kubert used to say is, it can be technically right, but look wrong. So it's better to have it look right and be wrong than argue and go, no, that's technically accurate. That is exactly how that works, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, yeah, that's nice, but it just looks fucked up.
Yeah, some things with perspective, like I remember circles in perspective. You don't want to follow exactly the down to the T technically how circles work in perspective, because it looks weird. It just registers weird with the brain and something like that. So it's good to go on instinct sometimes. How bad is the interview? It's bad.
I tell you what, it's an hour and 17 minutes.
You should watch the whole thing.
You should watch it.
It's excellent.
I'll give you 2 things. Either watch the real interview's an hour and 17, nice and tight. You can watch it. Boom. If you want to be really entertained, watch the stream Ethan did after where he EFAP'd it. It is 4 hours because they were talking a lot, pausing and stuff, but it's entertaining as hell.
Yeah. It's the just a well-read show. The original interview, it was just well-read, kind of calmly answering Mark Brooks freaking out about Comicsgate for like a while, and then Ethan came on, and then it was just shouting. Both of them were screaming at each other.
Yeah, purple in the face.
Straight. It was so funny. And then Mark descended into, first he turned purple, and he turned like white, green, and then purple, and then he decided to sit down, and this grown man seriously
turned into an 11-year-old.
Not just that too. He did that several times, but not just with Ethan, but essentially told Shane, John, and Ethan, and he said that verbatim, if any of them show up and meets him face to face, he's gonna assume it's a fight. That's right. What he said. And then he asked Ethan, "Are you in New York Comic Con? Come find me." And then Ethan's like, "Are you challenging me to a fight?" And he's basically like, "Yes." So he asked someone to come fight him on New York Comic Con.
Started talking about how he's doing MMA and all this shit.
Right. It was insane, dude.
He had a tantrum like my kid used to have when she was young. And I would never, Dennis and I were talking about it earlier, and I said, now my daughter is on the spectrum as well. So I can totally relate to what Ethan's going through with his young girl, because I've been there. My daughter's 19 now, but there are some times that she still has meltdowns and stuff. That's just part of it that we have to, cope with and deal with. But like any child, when they're 6 or 7, or even in middle school, they might come home and they might not like somebody at school. And then they'll just go off about them and be obsessed. And I would tell my daughter, I'm like, look, you don't like the person. That's fine. Just forget about them. If they're not in your class, it's fine. If they are in your class, sit away from them. Ignore them. But stop giving them all this attention in your head, because it's not worth it. And that's what I saw last night. I'm like, what is going on? This is the behavior that I would tell any kid, you don't act like this.
Mm-hmm.
So. If I were Marvel, I would, seriously, other than the fact that we know that Marvel's got an agenda and they're probably applauding it, but a real company would be sitting there, we can't have you as the face in you need to go somewhere else, because that was inappropriate behavior on Mark Brooks. Basically saying, if anybody CG walks up to him at New York Comic Con, I'm assuming we're throwing down, and he's going to throw the first punch. And I'm like,
I know.
You basically just said you're going to start a fight.
When I worked at a radio station in town, they had in their contracts a morality clause, basically, where if you were out in public and acted like that, especially on social media and stuff where it was all over the place, that was it. You're done. Mm-hmm. That was it. Because you, even though it wasn't on work time, and you didn't do it on air when you were doing your radio show and stuff, it was still like, no. You work for, this radio station. People know you from being on the radio. So even though Mark can say, I'm not a public figure, that's a bunch of bullshit. I heard him say, I went to the store this week. I got my oil changed. I did this. How many people recognize me? 0. Okay, well, in 30 years of drawing comics, I've been recognized twice. At the airport when I was going through security, and then and it was just give an ID. It wasn't even, it was, here's my ID. And they looked at it and they're like, are you that draws comics? And I was like, yes. And they're like, oh my God, I'm a fan, whatever. So twice, but it's like, you are a public figure, dude. It's just, I would always say the difference between, because we're in the entertainment industry, and the difference between us and actors, besides a big paycheck, is actors, obviously, if you're a very popular actor, an A-list actor, you get recognized when you go out, right? Mm-hmm. Well, whether you want to agree with this or not, Mark Brooks is an A-lister in terms of what he does, you know, for the companies.
So
he's not going to get recognized out in public because comics is this niche thing, you know. But when he goes to a con, oh yeah, he gets recognized. People know who he is. And he knows, and they know, like, oh my God, he's the guy that does all these covers for Marvel Comics. Yeah, he's done a few for DC, but he's like the face of Marvel. They give him all this cover work and stuff. You want that representing your company? I don't know how many books, I don't know how many extra copies a book sells with his cover, but it better be a shit ton to want to have that representing your company.
It's not just a bad look, though. Here's the issue. It's not just a bad look for the company. He's now a liability because now you've threatened people. And the people at the convention, the runners of any convention, have to be sitting there going, crap, if he comes, are we going to have fights? Because he's openly said, if you show up at New York Comic Con, I'm basically coming at you.
If you go to talk to him, he's gonna assume it's a fight. That's what happened with Gabe. So Gabe, first of all, Mark has been obsessively freaking out about Comicsgate forever, and he's harassed Beyonce, he's harassed Shelley Lepresti, and then went after who was it? Dale Keown, and he's like endlessly talking shit about Comicsgate, and not just
much love to Shelley
suck or whatever. Like whatever, if you're just saying our work is bad, but he's accusing us of being bigots, sexist, racist, all these things, and that is damning. That means nobody will hire you because someone like Mark Brooks, if he wants to say he's just another guy down the street. With the amount of Twitter followers he has and the clout that he has in the industry that we all work in, bullshit. He has clout.
Totally.
And him saying these things about us in our indie movement, that shit sticks, and that means we are never going to be working in the mainstream industry again, or at least people are going to be reticent about working with us just because of these accusations, not because we actually are those things or we've said anything ourselves, just because he is using his position of power backed by Marvel, this giant corporation, to punch down and harass indies, and he should be held to account. And Gabe was telling him on Twitter, I want to debate you because Gabe is Mexican and some Middle Eastern. He's like, he's very big about this. He's like, I'm a minority. Comicsgate is a hate group. I've seen no racism. Why are you saying this? I want to debate you. So he went to Mark Brooks' table at San Diego. And when he went to his table, Mark wasn't there. So, Gabe was obviously being a little instigating, and he keeps on calling him a little Marky and shit. But he never said anything challenging him to a fight. He's like, I want to debate you. He went to Mark's table and Mark wasn't there, took a picture of the table and was like, no, little Marky. And Mark freaked the fuck out, called the cops, was like, oh my God, I am damseling. He was going to fight me. I'm so scared. Like, when he says this, people read that. People who don't know the situation, all the shit that went on between them, think that Gabe threatened Mark and showed up at his table. That's what people who don't understand what actually happened will assume. So he's doing everything he can to just every single situation. He wants to frame it as it is our fault. It is the other person's fault. If you're Comicsgate, I'm going to come after you and ruin you and accuse you of things that you didn't do. And this time it's the same thing. He said on stream, if you show up at a convention, he's going to assume it's a fight. And he essentially said, fight me. But you know what's going to happen if any of us go to a convention and see him face to face? He's going to freak out, say this person threatened me. They're a bigot. They're a harasser. I'm so scared. Get them banned from the con.
Well, not only that, but if you're having a convention, you have Mark there, know that the possibility is very high that the police will be called to your convention.
Yeah.
Yes.
And like, you know what really pisses me off? I swear we'll talk about the comic in just a minute, but this really pisses me off.
I love talking about stuff.
But this is fresh drama, and this is probably the best drama we've had all year in a while. What pisses me off, because let's put this in perspective.
Tell us, Rini.
People who work for Marvel and DC and people who are those who are connected to editors, writers, artists at Marvel or DC, they can conspire to follow and stalk and possibly attack an indie comic creator who's a veteran at a convention.
Sure.
They can, I don't know if I would blame specifically the pros for Eric Samedi getting swatted, but it is because of what they said, because they've been smearing Comicsgate and saying that, well, these people are Nazis and a hate group. And Peter Samedi, who wasn't even Comicsgate at the time, was just like, I'm not going to apologize for thanking a customer for buying my book. He got swatted because of the smears that mainstream pros have been throwing at indie creators. And now Mark Brooks, somebody with the backing of a giant mega corporation, is threatening independent creators, multiple independent creators at a major convention, and that's okay. I mean, you can say whatever you want about Comicsgate. You know, we're politically incorrect. People aren't nice. We're mean. We make fun of people in the mainstream. But when the fuck has anybody in Comicsgate did all that shit?
Yeah.
Right.
When if anybody, and if Ethan, Shane, Malin did any of those things, it would be the end of them.
We
make fun of stupid comics that Marvel and DC do. Holy shit, we call people names, and we never threatened to attack anybody. Just by criticizing people, apparently when we do it, it's harassment. When they do it, it's okay. They can stalk people, they can dox people, and that's fine. But we better be perfect and polite,
they can get you kicked out of a convention.
Yeah, we're going to be kicked out of conventions. We're never going to work again. They're going to try. Oh, I didn't even mention the tortious interference. They're going to call your printer and scare your printer into not working with you. I mean, you guys know how it is. Every time, once we're in this scene, just because we decided we want to speak out about being anti-woke. We want creative freedom. We don't like the culture and elitism of the mainstream, and that's all it is. We just want to be honest and speak freely and create comics independently of Marvel and DC or even Image. And just because of that, we have to be careful about who we work with. We have to be ready for, an editor we hire or a printer we hire might fuck with us or might stop working with us out of the blue. There are so many fucking people in Comicsgate I talk to. Their writer or artist or colorist or printer just suddenly left them because they're like, I was cool with you, but somebody called me and threatened my business because you're Comicsgate. This has happened so many fucking times. Yeah. How is that okay? And we're the fucking bad guys?
Yeah, no, it's utterly ridiculous. And Scott Kurtz, just remember a few weeks ago, Scott Kurtz pulled that shit on Facebook about Aaron at Lepresti at the con in again or whatever, whichever con it was out there,
which is terrible because Aaron is one of the nicest, most politest people there is over here.
All the time, like you go to if any of us go to a convention, we have to be ready for someone at the con to get a call. Ooh, this person is kind of has associated with the hate group. Like if they say it enough times, it has to be true, right? If they say it enough times and they have media connections, so they're going to use their media connections to say it again and again, and then everybody believes it. So it must be true if everyone thinks so. Don't do any research, you guys. It's not like we have thousands of hours of live streams showing who we really are or anything like that.
But see, they'll even take this out of context, and it's like, well, actually critically think about it. I mean, that was the nice thing. That was the fun part about watching the stream again with the guys on Ethan's channel. And part of it is because they were easily just taking apart everything Mark was saying. And I'm glad, it's nice because I watched it first, just the interview. And I was like, well, this doesn't make sense. He just said this. Now what? And I'm like, but wait a second, maybe I'm just crazy. And then I watched that stream and they're thinking the exact same stuff. And I'm like, oh, so I'm not crazy. Mark is nuts. And it's mind blowing. The gaslighting these guys do is just insane. Jim Beam. She's getting out the big stuff.
Just a shot. I need to relax.
So are you bringing that to the convention on Sunday?
This?
Or
that's your home
similar?
That's your home brew, Dennis.
There's any of it left, Dennis.
Nice.
You see her devour it tonight.
Yeah.
I've got a bad feeling that at Saturday night we're gonna have a hard time walking back to the hotel rooms.
Oh my God, it's gonna be a fucking party. Oh, by the way, chat. So I mentioned this. I think I mentioned this on Post Kings, but all of us, except for Dan, but Andy, Dennis, and I. And I guess Frega, we're going to be at, Dan, well, you're welcome to fly out and join us.
I wish.
Oh, Dan, where are you out of?
California, unfortunately.
Oh,
Oh.
sorry.
That's unfortunate. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to be
I
in
see
South
Smokey's
Carolina.
asking, yes, we're heading to Greenville for
Yeah,
the
we're gonna be in
Comic-Con
Greenville.
Junior.
We're rebelling against New York. Fuck New York Comic Con. We're gonna be at South Carolina Comic Con. So come by on Sunday. We're all gonna be there. It's gonna be a party.
Well, you know, the thing that pisses me off about New York is if you're a professional. So like I do enjoy going to San Diego. I haven't gone. I didn't go this past year, the first year they were back. And obviously the year before that it was COVID. So obviously didn't go. But before that, it was like, 20 some years straight. And I don't set up. I like to just go hang out with my friend that lives in LA. And then we hang out with friends in San Diego and be chill, whatever. But the thing I like is you get a free pro badge because you're a professional. The thing I don't like about New York is, oh, you want to come do the show? Yay. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, I saw your super chat. You did have a super chat.
I was about to read it. I didn't want to interrupt.
So the thing with New York is, Scootran, thank you very much for that. I really appreciate it. And Cover E is one of my favorites, the throwback.
Thank you.
They screwed the professional badge people over this year at San Diego.
What's that?
They screwed us over this year with the professional badges.
How do you mean?
Instead of sending out an email like they normally do to let you know when you have to go submit your information or whatever, they only did a tweet. See, I was under the impression that it was all held over from the previous. So it would have been the last year I went was 2019. Mm-hmm. And then I did register obviously for 2020 before it was shut down. And I thought it was once you were registered for 2020, it just held over because I had to go to the site and verify a few things, but I got my this year though.
What's that?
If you went this summer, it would have held over for this summer. But for next year, everybody had to sign up, and they gave everybody a month window to do it and send in their information. And it was only way you knew about it is if you were lucky enough to go on during the month of, or if somehow you saw the tweet that I never saw.
Huh.
Wow. My friend told me about it because he lost his pro registration for next year because of it.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
mine's gone too. So.
Oh wow, we'll have to check. Yeah. But what I was going to say is New York just annoys me because it's like, oh, do you want to come to our show even though you're a professional and not just and not come and set up or anything, but just come in, walk around, whatever. That's cool. Mm-hmm. This is how much it's going to cost. But don't worry, it's a discount from what customers pay. And I'm thinking to myself, F you. I'm a professional. I shouldn't have to pay shit to get into the fucking show.
Yeah.
If I just want to walk around and stuff.
I've had enough of paying. I've been paying for con tables like a fucking baby beginner for 10 years. I'm done. I'm not doing shows unless I'm fucking invited.
Well, Rini, I hope you guys think. Have you been to Heroes yet? Heroes Con?
She was there this year, you dummy. Oh, you had a wedding to go to.
I wasn't there.
Yeah, you big dumb.
Yeah, Dennis.
Oh, I gotta go to a wedding.
Some of us had a wedding. Exactly.
I gotta go to a wedding that's not even a family member.
Yeah, I was at Heroes is this year was a little weird. I don't really know why. It's probably because it was the first show after COVID. But I went to SCAD in Atlanta, so we would do it every year. It's like the big southern. I almost said southern, guys. Southern. It's a big southern show. All the artists go to it, and it's
southern
very art focused. But yeah. Here's a good show. I tried to register for MegaCon. They're already fucking sold out because they moved it
I saw you posted that.
Yeah.
So all the tables that Patrick was talking about are gone, huh?
Right, and Patrick's register. He said it a few days ago. So I'm like, I'm going to register. I had a bunch of shit to deal with. And then today, last night, I was like, okay, I'm going to register for MegaCon. And then it's sold out. So I'm on the waiting list. I don't know how that would work out. Hopefully they have a few lame people who suck at art that'll be bumped off so I can go.
I'm thinking that Dennis and I were already talking. We might just drive down just to hang out. So
I will. Here's the thing. Even if I don't have a table, I'm going to drive down and I'll have some stuff. So if you want to,
is that in Florida?
Yeah,
order something, I'll bring it down to you, right? Because there's going to be a big meetup. We're going to have a CG meetup and shit. So I'm definitely going to be there.
Maybe I'll still come out for that then.
Yeah, you should come out. It's a meetup thing, and it's like 4 hours from me, so I'm just gonna drive down. But yeah, so yeah, that's gonna happen.
Yeah, I think Bancroft said he was flying up from Australia. So
yeah.
He said he was. Yeah, he said he was gonna do that. He said something about getting a whole like small venue for a get together. I'm like, why do you need to do that? Let's just all go to a bar.
Yeah.
Well, so all the paid tables are sold out. What about artist tables?
Oh, dealer and artist are both sold out. Because I was like, I will pay out my ass to be in the dealer's room. Nope, they're sold out too.
Okay.
So that's really great. Because they're usually in the summer. I don't fucking know why. They moved the show up to like March. So,
no, that's when it usually was.
Ready.
Because of COVID, they switched things up. It was usually when the new company took over a few years back, they put it on Memorial Day weekend. And I was like, seriously? I am not doing a show on a holiday weekend where my wife's off and my kid, all that stuff. Mm. And then after COVID, they did. It was in the last year. Yeah, last year when Dennis and I went down, it was in August. And then this year, was it still August or was it July? I don't remember.
I think it's beginning of August.
Okay, and then now it's back. It's in the spring, and that's where it used to be. When Beth, the person that owned it before, was running it, she had it in the spring where they're doing it next year. So
yeah, I see one of the guys said come to Chicago. I used to do Wizard World and then C2E2. So that's the ones that I used to do. That's actually where I got all my comic book holders and stuff from the company was at C2E2 when they were there. So there's a couple of really nice conventions in Chicago. It's just a pain to stay at, but I guess it's like New York or San Diego.
Yeah, I've never been to C2E2. It's C2E2 Emerald City. Emerald
City is one that I've never been to that I really one of these days would like to hit.
20 years ago, I think was the last time I went to Emerald. Oh no, it wasn't 20. I was living here, so it was 2008. Maybe it was the last time I went to Emerald City. It was fun. Yeah. C2E2 is nice.
Chicago, so I knew where it was, and for a little while, but not a fan of Illinois. Sorry.
Yeah, I did Rose City once. I like the mid-sized shows,
Yeah, Baltimore's good.
Yeah, I did Baltimore once. That was okay.
Baltimore, Orlando, and Charlotte really are the best pure comic ones on the East Coast.
Yeah. It takes some time to figure it out, but there are shows that are better for artists.
XCon is cool. So since you're asking about that, friends of ours actually bought the XCon and they took it over now. So XCon is a whole new. That's what we were at this last instead of MegaCon. We were.
Yeah, it's the same weekend. That's where we were at. Yep.
Yeah.
That's why we didn't go to MegaCon
took it over. They do a fantastic job. So hopefully it'll get worked out where there won't be overlapping ones because that's got a lot of potential.
Well, no, there won't be this year because MegaCon's in March. So.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean there's not going to be any other big ones that are.
Well, no.
That's what I'm saying.
I was talking about.
There's a lot of cons now.
Yeah.
Again.
Conrail Beach. Dodge bullets to go to Chicago.
Oh God. Yeah.
Yeah. It would be funny if it wasn't so true.
I know.
I'm going to Tokyo Comic Con next year, maybe.
Kid, I'd love to go to one over there.
Yeah, Japan just opened. I mean, it's too late to organize to go to Tokyo. Tokyo Comic Con is actually really good. It's an American style show in Tokyo.
Nice.
Cool. Yeah, because Japan has Japanese style shows like Comic Kid and Fumikomi and Natsukomi, and they have a lot of conventions actually, but like Japanese style shows are a little different. But Tokyo Comic Con is an American style show, and it looks just like San Diego, but it's like better organized and cleaner and more orderly because it's Japan and it's run by Japanese people. So I love it. And I went when I was living in Taiwan when I moved back a few years. I would recommend it.
Oh, that's cool. Let's see. Smokey asked me what I thought of Big Lick up in Roanoke. Roanoke, it was a fun show.
It is.
Yeah.
Big Lick?
Yeah, they put on a nice show.
It's the part of Roanoke is actually called that because I was like, why would you call your show that? But I don't think it's the city itself.
No, actually, Big Lick got its name because it was built. The city Roanoke's actually built where the salt deposits used to be, like in the Delta. And anyway, they because of all the salt deposits, it became the Big Lick, and that's what it was known as, and that's what it's. So that's the nickname of the city. So Roanoke is the Big Lick, and also has the Lost Colony. So that's always worth stopping for if you get there, because an entire colony disappeared.
That's pretty cool. Let's see. Had your experience was ruined by LA Anime Expo. Oh, lines. Yeah, that's why I like mid-sized cons. I mean, even as someone tabling, it's just like it's a lot when it's a huge convention. It's just so many people. Like, I want to be able to talk to people. I want to have some space, So, like a mid-sized con is a good balance between making sales and like not dying and being trampled. So
you'll like South Carolina.
Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely talk to him about the 2-day one in the spring.
Cool, I will. This is gonna be crazy. Oh my god, I can't believe it was such a busy week. So I'm doing South Carolina on Sunday. Fiendish first 30 closeout should be Monday, I think. And then Wednesday I'm actually flying to Columbia for a week for another convention. So joy! Yay!
Nice.
Oh, I'm so busy.
That's cool.
Oh my gosh. It's cool, yeah. I mean, I'm basically going to treat it like a giant vacation, which I haven't had in 3 years. So if I'm radio silent for a week, it's fine. I'm drinking in Columbia.
Well, just drop a tweet every now and then so we know you weren't kidnapped or anything. And,
I'll try. Well, if I am kidnapped, everybody can go blame Yvonne because I leave myself in his hands.
Well, after the convention, I'm going to be going dark for about 2 weeks, so you guys won't see me. I'm actually taking a trip. We're going on a big northeast vacation. We're seeing 8 state capitals. That's my wife and I. So we will have checked off another 8, and then we only have 4 state capitals left, and we've seen it all.
Ooh, nice. Yeah, I want to do that too, especially with COVID. I've been talking to my friends about doing a cross-country trip and like go all the way to California and finding Dan and Billy and harassing them for a bit. But I haven't seen so many places in America. I haven't seen the Grand Canyon, Yellowstone, all that shit. But
neither have I.
When COVID started, I've seen it all. So unfortunately, that's why
I'm running
out of things. When COVID started, my sister-in-law worked. She's in the hotel industry, and they all got furloughed because they had no jobs, right? Because the hotels were shut down. So her and I took my niece and nephew on a 33-day road trip. So even my kids never got on that long of a road trip, and we went from here down through Texas, all the way up through Colorado, Montana. So we basically covered, 15, 16 states, and we stayed at it for 33 days.
Wow.
Thank you, COVID. Good for one thing.
That sounds like mad fun. I want to do it, but like I don't want to do it on my own. And the 3 friends in real life that I have, 2 of them they're married, they have a kid who's still kind of young, so that's always the problem. Like they're never free to do anything. So I need to just abandon my friends and go do shit on my own more. That's my conclusion.
I'd love to do a road trip cross country. I think that'd be fun.
It is. It's a blast.
Wow. I just said I'd love to do it, and Dennis just rubs it right in. It is. Oh my God, it's great. The memories I have from it will never leave me. It's not like
you don't have a wife and a kid you could take with you and do it.
I'd like to have fun while I do it.
I mean, damn.
Jeez.
I'm just saying we can drive. I'm just saying I can drive to the grocery store that is less than 2 miles away, and guaranteed at least 2 times I'm going to be told I'm not driving correctly. That's all I'm saying.
Disavowed.
No.
At least your wife will drive, and she can make it out of the driveway.
That's true.
Disavow.
No,
so let's play this trailer, shall we?
Sure.
Let me see. Hold on. I have to reshare my screen.
Play that tasty trailer.
Everybody shouting out the places where I should stop by. Phoenix, go to Grand Canyon. Ooh,
Yeah, I've never been to the Grand Canyon. I really want to go like to Montana. I don't know why. It just looks so cool, nice and open. Go to like a town that's like population 1,000,
Yeah.
has like the one bar that everybody goes to and stuff. And, just a town like that.
You would appreciate it, Andy. We went to a town like that and we got the hottest barbecue sauce you ever had called Blazing Rectum. And it was in Montana.
And 24 hours later, after you ate that, did you have a blazing rectum?
It was hot. It really was. My buddies came over. I brought back a couple of bottles and went through it. It was good. I've only been to the Grand Canyon on the South Rim. I've never been able to. On none of our trips we've made it to the North Rim.
Dennis, I've told you how many times, until you do the whole rim, you don't know what you're missing.
It's a full rim job.
That's right.
It is. Yep, I know. I'm missing something.
You are.
On the note of full rim jobs.
Yes. Reenie's like, these guys are gross. Oh, just wait till Saturday.
No, I think she knows you by now.
Great.
I know she knows.
We're gonna live stream our entire dinner.
We should live stream our dinner.
Oh my God, yes! It's gonna be great.
It is.
Chat, you'll get to see all of us falling over. We'll get Frega super fucking drunk. It'll be great.
Nah, he said he's clean for the month.
What?
I know.
We're gonna fix that.
That's what I'm talking. I'm like, how can you say that going to a convention in less than a week? Come on.
How is that possible with Frank Tober? I don't get it.
I don't know. Either you're fucking clean just in general or you're not.
I know.
That's bullshit. Can you guys hear me here?
Yes.
Music?
Yep.
Okay, good. I didn't boomerang. All right, let's watch this trailer. Woo!
Hello.
No! I hit the wrong button. Very nice. Very nice.
Jimmy
Reyes.
I was like, is that my voice? Like, why was there a voice at the end?
That was his wife. That was his wife, Anna.
And she's so quiet in it.
I know. I was like, oh, is someone behind me speaking? Breakfast on Indiegogo.
Exactly. See, there it is.
Oh, it really gets you. It's memorable. You have two trailers? Should have played.
Yeah, the second one is the first one that I did.
Okay,
and
you
Jimmy
want me to
was
play
like,
it?
"I'll do one for you." Yeah, go ahead, play it.
All right. Murder.
Yes.
To use that sound clip.
Certified badass.
I like the certified badass.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of cool.
At the end. Oh, hey, look at that. You know, it's funny. This is incognito mode. So, look, the professionals and Ricada getting censored. That's interesting. So, very cool. Very cool. I like both trailers.
Yeah, I really like what Jimmy did, but and he definitely I don't use After Effects. I need to learn it, and I know it's not that difficult. My daughter uses it. She could probably teach me, but you know, I wanted to put something together, and I was happy with what I did. And Jimmy's like, "I'll do something for you." I was like, "Okay," and you did a great job too. So
yeah.
Oh
I
yeah,
know
we
some
saw his
basic-
trailer. That
his
he
trailer
did.
for Dragon Rage is really good. I know some basic After Effects. That's what I did my trailer on. But he has the thing with After Effects is it takes time. It's not hard. It takes time, and it helps to have effects packages and stuff. So
yeah.
Get him to do a trailer was really good. You know?
I'd say you're from looking at your trailer. I'd say you know a little more than basic, but if that's just basic After Effects, then I need to just learn some basics and get to it. But my daughter has some effects stuff, but I'd probably have to get different stuff from what she does. So
cool. Yeah. See, no, I'm wearing my Fiendish hoodie.
I know.
My camera's, I'm not zoomed out enough. You can't see my boobs.
It's not too hot in your house for it. Did you turn the AC up so you wouldn't be sweating?
I'm actually a little warm right now.
Yeah.
I'm usually really cold. I'm cold all the fucking time, so I thought it would be okay, but I'm like, this hoodie works, you guys. It's really warm. I have a spaghetti strap under it, and I'm hot. Oh my god! Actually, I'm gonna go turn the air down after.
Well, it's that, or could it be the alcohol that you just had,
or the rage? It could be all of
or the rage
combined. But yeah, here, look.
Yeah, I know. It's awesome.
Did.
Shake the house.
Just don't do the She-Hulk twerk.
Oh my god!
Something fell off the desk.
Everything's fine.
It's
Too much junk in that trunk, friends.
I knocked over my
forgetting I have a thing of alcohol in here. For when people are like, "Oh, we did this. It's time to do a shot." I'm always like, "I don't have anything." I keep forgetting I have a thing of bourbon right over there. So, I think
are you guys drinking with me? If we hit 56 for KOR-DRATH today, then
I got some.
I'll do a shot. Sure.
Yeah.
Well,
man down.
I think I do have some on the back shelf because I had it in a different stream.
Oh, look at that! You go, Dennis.
I know. I had to turn around and look.
I know.
And the links are in the description. I have a store.
I thought did you have 3 things, or was it just the 2? I thought you showed 3.
No, I have
crazy?
I only show these 2, but I guess you're telepathic because I do actually have another shirt. But it's just
say you had a shirt, a hoodie, and then the beanie.
Yeah.
But you only showed the beanie and the hoodie today.
Yeah.
Did you show the back of the hoodie? Is that why I'm thinking maybe?
That's what I just showed. Yeah.
No, I'm talking on when you posted today. Did you show? I thought it was 3 pictures of 3 different things.
No, that was just a hoodie and the back. Well, the T-shirt is just the exact same thing front and back, but on a T-shirt. So that's also on my store.
Cool.
Yeah. So you can, you guys can go check it out. Yay!
Nice.
I earthquaked it.
Oh, Dan, I just noticed your Apocalypse Now. You've been shrunk down in the corner all day, so I didn't get to see your background. I like the Apocalypse Now.
It's always
it's an original. It's original,
is it really?
Theatrical insert.
Nice.
Very cool.
I don't know if it. Let's see if I can get the light to. Oh, it's the computer screen. Nothing I can do about that.
I gotta say, I like the room here because it looks lived in.
Yeah, this is my art space.
Yeah, no, I dig it. I love stuff like that. That's cool.
I got all kinds of stuff.
It's kind of like narwhals.
You talk about narwhals. Look, holy crap! Look at that shelf.
Yeah.
Damn.
Workspace is crazy. Oh, hey! I don't think we've ever seen like the front of your work. Holy
wow!
You got jaws. Like to see that.
Oh, look at the Thundercat up there. You know it. Wait, why is that one Thundercat blue? Because that's not what's his face. That looked like a blue lion.
That one is the lino that got frozen. It was a comic.
Oh no shit!
Oh yeah.
He if you put him out in the sunlight, he looks like the other one next to him.
Oh cool.
Yeah. He's Danny. You're in a garage, right?
Yeah, I'm in my art space in my garage.
Yeah. His art space. This is literally in a garage. So
no, that's cool. What do you do?
Is that
Well,
Snake
you're in
Mountain?
California. You probably don't have to worry about being too cold out there. So.
Yeah, no, it doesn't ever get too cold, really. It just.
What about heat? You got AC out there at
hot.
least?
It gets warm in here.
Oh, is that a real dragon?
This is this was a
Dragon.
Kickstarter. It was a like kind of like a 1-up machine where you can add more games to it.
Oh, sweet.
But it has Dragon's Lair built into it, and it's got. Let's see if you can kind of see the graphics on the side.
That was a
Dragon's
Kickstarter?
Lair.
Yeah, it was a Kickstarter. It was $300.
Really?
Wait, so how big is that?
I think it's like 4.5 feet, maybe.
How much was the shipping on that thing?
I don't remember. I think it was like maybe $80.
Oh, damn, that's it? Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's pretty good.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love that game, man. I stuck so many quarters
This is
in
my
that back in
EVS
the
right
day.
there.
Nice.
Wait, is that from
Yeah,
Real
you know,
Salad?
CrossGen put out
Yeah,
a
it's Real
couple,
Salad.
CrossGen put out a couple Dragon Lair books.
Yeah, I have them.
Yeah.
But,
That was good
Yeah,
stuff.
so that's all my stuff, and there's some GI Joe stuff up there.
Okay,
Nice.
There's my record player with some of my records.
Oh,
My
vinyl.
comic
Love
collection.
it.
Andy Smith's book is right down
Oh.
there somewhere in that cardboard stack of mailers.
Hey, that works for me.
That's where I keep all my crowdfunded books.
Can you show us your pile of scrap paper and discarded sketches and your
Oh, not
trash
really.
bin
That's
Okay.
all
That's what I call
down
it.
under, like behind that
Actually, I think
tank
that's fine.
down in there is where it's at. That's
Oh,
where I keep
okay.
all the-
I didn't see any
Cool.
Macross. I was looking for some
Yeah.
Robotech.
Chat was saying they're
Macross
getting
in here for
dizzy
sure.
from the motion.
Right back here. Hold on. There's the Macross.
Ah, there's
Oh,
Robotech.
damn. Dennis
Love
asked. You asked, you shall receive.
There's
Right?
another one right back there.
Love it.
Dan
But then
totally
next-
doesn't compulsively buy action figures.
And and there's one up here too, right up on the Castle Grayskull with the
Oh,
gargoyle.
yeah. There
Oh,
it
is that is that
It's in
that big
Guardian
gargoyle
mode.
that just came out?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I keep
Yeah.
wanting to get
Good.
that.
There's my
Okay.
inspirational comics on the wall there.
Nice.
There's one over there.
Okay.
Little
To my
pit number
shaky
one.
cam. Everybody goes, okay, to make the shaky cam stop, let's everybody go back Goblin Girl, please.
Yes, friend.
For all of you experiencing epileptic seizures, we are sorry.
Yeah.
This shirt will be available soon, hopefully. We'll see.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
So
Let me
far,
look
it's
at
on
it.
the Goblin's chest tier.
Oh,
You
cool.
went up again! Yay!
Awesome.
I mean,
Good.
Thank you.
Andy
But-
did.
yeah.
The
channel-
boys did.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Why
guys.
did they go up? Did they go up enough for us to drink? What's going on?
Almost at 700.
Well, thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. Let me pull up our other campaigns.
Yeah, do it.
Dan's got one,
Mark
and
says it's Macross and it's a VF1. Absolutely right. Love it.
Wow.
Another role-playing game that I used to play. Robotech, Ninja
Yeah.
Turtles, and Riffs.
Did I go up some?
Nerd
I feel
card
like my
confirmed.
numbers either dropped or went up a little bit. I don't know which.
So sorry, guys, for the shaky cam. Dan was
Sorry
too
for the
excited,
nausea cam, friends.
trembling with excitement over the nerdery in his room. Oh, Billy says you went up, so yay!
Hey,
cool.
Nice.
Don't.
So we
Why are
can
you
go-
apologizing for nerdery? Never apologize. You can never have enough.
That's right.
Oh, I'm not
There it
apologizing
is.
for the nerdery. I'm worried for the health of my chat, but the nerdery is fine.
Okay.
Yeah, the nerdery is more
That
than
is
okay.
completely Weeberized. There's no helping them.
No, you have a point. Well,
Oh,
Dramamine
speaking of which,
exists, guys.
I did something yesterday that I think you will dig, Rainey.
Yeah. What'd
Yes.
you do?
You know, we were discussing waifu stuff and passing stuff back and forth.
Oh,
I drew this.
what? Hold on.
Oh, cool.
Ah!
That's cute.
Ah, that's cute.
It is.
I approve. Hey, that's
Cute.
another waifu. Yeah, the fabled waifu
'Cause I was-
art book will.
I was finishing up all my
eventually
commission
happen there.
pieces from from the auction. So I did this Princess Leia.
Ooh, nice.
I did this this lady. I don't know. It's just like someone's character.
Oh, cool.
Mm.
And then I did the Red Sonja.
Hey. Nice.
Yep.
I like that Red Sonja.
That's cool.
It came out good.
So you were asking about alcohol.
Oh my!
I'm saving this for a special occasion, like if we hit six figures.
Oh, you're not opening that tonight.
Tonight? No. What did I just say? We hit 6 figures?
Well, you said you had something in your room to drink. So
yeah, this isn't opened. I'm not opening this.
I love me,
guys. I'm a Star Trek nerd, but I actually have Klingon blood wine. I have Romulan ale. And I do have the James T. Kirk straight bourbon whiskey.
Oh my!
Well, be careful. There's a tribble behind you. Just a warning.
Yeah, I know there is.
And from what I hear, they're
laughing so hard.
From what I hear, they're trouble.
So this is totally a little bit off.
You're canceled, Andy.
Trip, how amazing is that? How amazing is that 4K Star Trek the Motion Picture?
It is.
It is beautiful.
Amazing. It absolutely is. So I wound up getting the motion picture, the Wrath of Khan in 4K director's cut, the motion picture director's cut 4K, Star Trek 3 4K, Star Trek 4 in 4K, and then I just got, because they just released Star Trek 6 Undiscovered Country in 4K director's cut.
Nice.
Didn't even know there was one. It's amazing. So
really?
Yeah, we did a whole thing. It was awesome.
Sorry, guys. Was that a little weird?
That was hilarious.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I just wanted to show everybody this awesome, beautiful website that you see here that I spent a lot of time on, and I update all the time because this is the website for my comic, and I have a bunch of resources on the side, like world building material, character profiles, a world map, and a language. Because I'm nuts, and I built a language for Fiendish. I know. And so it's really easy to remember, fiendishcomic.com. But if you want the merch, you can just click here, and the header leads to a campaign page. Everything is right here. I made it so easy for you, so there's no reason that you should have not backed Fiendish already.
And did you? I assume you built that. Oh, look at that! 1313. Got to get off that. Got to get one more at least, or a couple more to get it to.
Look.
1313. I like even numbers, but that's a little freaky. Let's.
Yeah, and it's 113 too. It's a little cursed, isn't it?
Yeah, it's weird.
It would be freaky if it was 113, 103 or something, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Why is 13? When is 13 an unlucky number?
I didn't say it was unlucky. It's just, it's just so yeah.
I just feel like walking underneath a ladder now with a black cat.
Isn't 13 an unlucky number in Christianity or something?
Only if you're a Freemason.
Yes.
Okay. Well, because I know a few too many Freemasons.
Only if you're a Templar.
I don't know, only if I'm secretly a Templar.
Galen
insulted my language. Oh, but yeah, he does it all the time. So everybody, Fiendish 2 is doing really, really well. And our next stretch goal is a Dan Lawless print.
Yeah.
Lawless, Mr. Lawless. So if we get to 110, everybody gets oh, by the way, this is
that piece off yet?
So.
Where is it?
No, I'm waiting to tweet it out on Friday. Right before I go on Red Valkyrie. I'm saving it. Good. It's on the campaign, but I'm saving the tweet,
Oh, okay.
Because that gets more attention. I'm just scrolling down to show you guys the print. So here it is. So this is why you want to share the campaign and tell your mama, your daddy, your sister, your brother, everybody you know
That's right.
to back this book right now, because if we can get the campaign to 110, then this print goes to everybody.
110? Isn't it at 113?
120. I'm sorry.
120. Yeah. I was like, wait a second.
Listen,
guys. She's had a shot. Come on.
No, it's not that. I'm not used to talking about numbers this big. I might be Asian, but I'm actually really bad at math, and this is $120,000 we're talking about, and it still hasn't registered that's how much money I'm trying to aim for. So my brain is a little befuddled.
Yeah,
Anyway.
well, wait till the campaign goes into man, and then 2 weeks later, that goes into your bank account.
Oh, I think I would die. So anyways, this awesome print will be for everybody. So you can back this campaign and share the word yay. And of course, Goblin Girl. Wee, boobies. Boing, 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 back in now. Wee.
Yes.
All right. I haven't asked that. We talked about your history and the inception of KOR-DRATH and Dennis's love for TTRPGs. We haven't really covered the story. You covered a little bit of it, Andy, but can you give us the story premise for KOR-DRATH?
Dennis, I'll let you take it away.
Yeah, so this is a story. This particular story is going to be, KOR-DRATH and Adriana, they're star-crossed lovers. They are out doing their duty, and when they return, they find out some evil forces they wind up wiping out the entire Red Lions tribe. So basically, KOR-DRATH loses his entire family, and it's pretty much a hero's journey where he has to, overcome it, understand what's going on, who did it, why they did it, and then he winds up getting a blood oath to figure out and take revenge and take revenge and get rid of the people who did it to him. So it's an interesting story. Magic in this world is quite a bit different. It actually works instead of just casting, like she's actually, Adriana's a sorceress. She just doesn't cast magic. It's all about channeling. She channels energy. So magic is neither, created nor destroyed. So you have to channel magic in order to get it to its effects. Ley lines are important, but then they actually use tribal magic. There's not a lot of gods in this world. It's all about the tribes. They have ancestral mounds, and you'll learn it because there's 11 different tribes, but we just focus in on 3 of them. Mm-hmm. And in this, they actually draw power and magic from their ancestors. And you'll notice tattoos on the different barbarians. All the tattoos, they're infused with it when they're younger, and they have magical properties as they get older and more mature. That those tattoos mean something besides just showing where they're at. So there's actually magical properties. So there's a lot of intrigue. We're dealing with, you see Lilith, which Budroot on his cover, she's a succubus. Necronite and his fiery hellfire steed. And so anyway, we've got undead, we've got massive monsters, blood and guts. I mean, it's pretty much everything you could possibly want, not to mention pure adrenaline when it comes to barbarians crushing one another.
I like I always love blood and gore, and you guys all know that. And I am a fan of how many guts are spilled in the fighting scenes I've seen so far. Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah,
it's going to be cute little baby. Oh.
Well, that's a total Budroot creation right there. He didn't just make up the dark worms. He made up a whole backstory for him. So that
Bud is amazing. Bud is amazing. He just doesn't draw. So when we first saw it, we're like, oh my God, never thought of, he drew this worm. And then, even with the little detail of the light. So as we start talking to Bud, and Bud's like, oh no, that light does this and this and this, and then this happens, and then this jaw unhinges, and then this happens, and blah, 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 blah. So when he creates a monster, he just doesn't draw something that looks cool. He's envisioning everything around him. So I'm like, dude, I totally want to incorporate this. So I actually went back and rewrote some of the script just to be able to incorporate this into the story because he created this. And I got a whole backstory, and I actually created statistics for it, the whole 9 yards. It's awesome.
Nice. Oh, you even created stats for it. Oh, yeah, we're going to have a great weekend. We're going to have monster stats.
And he's going to be sitting there going, don't make me roll dice.
Nerdiest shit ever. I can't wait. Download those. As there any bards to say today? I don't know. Him and Alex VRB have something going on about bards.
I saw a tiefling bards in there. So yeah, there's something going on in the chat that I'm not privy to, especially tiefling bards.
I don't get it either. They're him and Alex fight over bards. Apparently he loves bards and Alex doesn't. Or no, wait, is it the other way around? I don't remember. I'm sorry, guys. Nor nemesis. Really? Was that necessary?
Come on now.
Was that necessary? Hey, thank you, Cherry.
Well, there is lots of violence and nudity in this, but
okay, there's not a lot of nudity in it.
Whoa! I didn't say a lot. There is a lot.
You just said there's lots of violence and nudity.
Oh, okay, but there should be more.
But there's no bestiality.
Oh, well, good to know.
Great, now we're going to lose a lot of back. That was the one thing I asked for, and he's like, I'm not doing it. I was like, fine.
All I asked for was one horse and one.
Oh, no, that's what everyone's been waiting for desperately. You let us down.
Oh, sure, KOR-DRATH and Adriana hook up, but what about KOR-DRATH and his horse when he's lonely? No.
Okay. It was a little much. Just kind of.
Bestiality refund.
This is not Tijuana. There's no donkey shows in the book.
Oh, God. Because we said at least in one orc. Well, technically, it's.
Oh, boy, that would be.
Well,
is that's not bestiality? Oh, that's book 2. He's like, now that you say it, or it's going to be in the book.
Right.
I keep having flashbacks because I had a fantasy character years ago, like back when I just gotten out of high school. I was like first starting to do comics, and it was called Adriana the Amazonian. Every time I hear Adriana, I'm like, oh, that's
so funny. Hey, Dan Lawless is in the chat. Yo,
what's up, Dan?
Whoa.
Dan did the colors for these. I mean, of course, the awesome.
That's right.
Dan
Lawless in this.
Both of these are his color. His colors really stand out.
Sex and violence.
You can kind of tell when it's his color. He's got this really like when he's drawing. He just did this awesome pinup for Von Klaus as well for Terror in the Trenches. But
oh yeah.
He's got this like. Yeah. He's got this like very Frazetta-esque. You know, he's really good at muscles and the way he does his compositions. It's the lighting, like the focused lighting. Yep. But like when he's just coloring something, I can still tell it's him because like I saw this and I was like, that looks like Dan Lawless, but not really. Then I realized, well, he's coloring someone else's line art because his colors pop so much, and I think it's the softness and like the kind of purpley shadows and that he pulls like the really, really dynamic skin tone out of. Skin is hard as fuck to color because I tried to paint realistic skin for some jobs I've had, and it's hard because there are different gradients to it, but you have to blend it all together, and then you have to capture 3-dimensionality of it as well. So it's like skin is one of the hardest things to paint, I think. At least it really is.
Well, Dan, don't worry about it. I made sure Andy did not get any of his bestiality in the book that you were going to color. At least the covers.
That's right.
Whew. Dodge a bullet, Dan.
Come on now.
Dodge a bullet.
I did work for Penthouse, so I'm experienced in that. I did when Penthouse did Penthouse Comics in the 90s. I did a story for him.
I don't know what that is.
I have all those books.
Well, you know what Penthouse Magazine is, right?
No.
Do you know what Playboy is?
Oh, yeah.
It's the competitor.
Yeah, Penthouse is the one where they go spread eagle. Put it that way.
Oh, my innocent mind, you guys.
I've said it tactfully.
You know, you invited Andy on. You knew
Playboy is Playboy's the nice one where it's just nice pinup shots that are tastefully done. And Penthouse is like, hold my beer.
Yeah. I don't know the magazines.
They did Penthouse Comics in the mid 90s, and I drew a 12-page story for him. So
the guy did a triple Indy in a hotel.
Triple Indy.
Yeah, he did. I know what you're talking about. The guy that I don't think he was the publisher, but no, the guy, he's not lying. The guy, one of the higher ups, because like I said, I don't think he was the publisher. Took a dive off a balcony in a hotel. It was in New York, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was onto the down through like the lobby thing onto the elevator or something like that.
Oh my
God! It was like
really.
I don't think it was. So I'm pretty positive it wasn't an Embassy Suites. But if you've ever been to an Embassy Suites and you walk in, and the rooms are, you can basically go to the center of the hotel and look straight up, to the ceiling. So if it's 10 floors, you can look straight up. And then all the rooms, you come out and there's the balcony. You just look down, and it was something like that. And the guy just took a dive right off and killed himself.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Supposedly owed
That
some people
sucks.
some money.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
Rumor.
That's true. Penthouse was in between Playboy and Hustler in terms of,
Yes.
yeah. So
I don't know Hustler either, but I don't. It's fine. I kind of. I get the idea.
You're so innocent.
Yeah. I came of age when the internet was already a thing. So if you wanted naked people, you used the internet.
Oh, so she didn't have to go through the period of paper products.
I did, but I just was a kid, so I wasn't looking at things like Hustler.
I wouldn't expect you to be looking at Hustler regardless. So
yeah.
I mean, I was only reading rated R manga because I had a manga shop across the street from me, and they totally did a terrible job of keeping the kids out of the R-rated section. So that's fine.
What's that rated X manga called?
Berserk.
Which one?
I don't know.
Oh my God!
Berserk's not rated X.
I'm kidding.
Is it hentai or something like that?
Hentai is porn. It's basically porn with a
that's
story.
See, I knew you knew that.
Well, it's a genre. It's a categorization of manga.
Yeah.
I don't know what Berserk is rated as. I mean, it shows
It's got to be R.
I don't know. It has to be R because they show everything.
Gotta be. I would
But
think.
it's not.
They really show everything.
They really show everything, is what I mean.
Yeah,
But
I would think it's R.
Yeah, it has to be R. But it's this weird thing where, well, it's not all the time, but when they show it, they show it. Yeah. I guess like the point of the comic isn't about sex, but it's definitely not prudish. I mean,
right.
Interesting. So I
Doesn't
don't know.
So it's a funny story. Rainey, I'm sorry I have to tell this story. She actually told me at Heroes Con the reason she started reading Berserk is because her parents were like, all right, now we're going to teach you about the birds and the bees. Here, read this book. And that's it.
You know what's funny?
Story?
No.
That's how Dennis did it. Dennis was like, kids, I'm going to teach you about the birds and the bees. Here's Penthouse letters. Let me know if you have any questions.
You know what's funny though? So I learned about the birds and the bees from a picture book. It was they have like a picture book that's, it's for
right
that age for like 12 or 13-year-olds to like teach them, start introducing them about this stuff. And it's like this book series is actually really good. I found it online and I'm actually like kind of glad I had that because it was the like this is how the plumbing works, but also this is how, this is what you should keep covered, and this is what marriage means. Why do adults get married? Why do they get divorced? This is what having a baby is like, and this is consent. And so it was a whole package. And wait, what?
So was there anything about staying off the pole?
Off the pole? No. I guess it didn't occur to them that would be a problem, but if it was written in America nowadays, it probably would have that in there. How to stay off of OnlyFans.
Or how to make money in OnlyFans.
Oh,
exactly.
God. Yay, America.
Wow.
Modern culture. And
you're trying to tell me
like that
you didn't have in a health class the 1950s movie From Reel to Reel that they played with you. Children, we know you're getting to be that age.
No.
Yeah, I remember health class.
No.
Health class in middle school, they pull down the screen and it's like
projector screen.
Here's the male reproductive system. Here's the female reproductive system. This is how the stuff works. And everybody giggles because they're 12 and 13 years old.
Yeah.
And they teach you how to use condoms, and they're like, everybody grab the banana that's in front of you.
Oh, jeez.
No,
yeah, I got in trouble for doing that because I thought banana was just, another word. So I grabbed it all right.
And by the way, Alex, I do know Andy, and I don't believe anything that he says. You should have seen on our channel tonight. He said something, and you just can't believe anything.
I'm starting to catch on. Sometimes he's got this glint in his eye, and it means he's completely lying just to throw
it's funny when you're a kid and you run after an ice cream truck that's going down the street, everybody's like, isn't that cute? Oh, but do it as an adult and they want to call the police. Excuse me.
No, I didn't have the video. I mean, but I was in Taiwan. It was a little different, even though it was American school. Here's the thing, though. Like, I was kind of, my innocence was broken early because if you know about, I guess it wasn't that early. It was like, I was 11. It was still really not age appropriate for like a 10 or 11-year-old. But if you know about the Clan of the Cave Bear books, I've mentioned this before. It's part of my fascination with prehistoric Europe and ancient Europe. The Clan of the Cave Bear books are this book series by this author, Jean M. Owl, weird last name. Anyways, it's about this Cro-Magnon woman in prehistoric Europe going around and like, you know, she grew up, her parents were killed when she was a baby, so she was raised by Neanderthals, but they were like really patriarchal, and then she didn't fit in, so she left and she survived on her own, then met another Cro-Magnon, and all this whole adventure. But there was like caveman sex everywhere, there was gore, there was death, there was more caveman sex, there was Neanderthal sex, and I was like 11 when I read this series. So, like, I kind of knew everything.
Oh my God.
And my parents were just like, oh, well, she's reading, so that's good.
Oh my God.
That's hilarious.
So,
That is so funny.
Check what your kids are reading, everybody.
Oh, yeah.
It's a good series. It's actually, it's very, very influential.
No, I guess all the books I read, X-Men, didn't have that kind of stuff in it.
That's why I'm a little fucked up, everybody.
Should have read it a little bit later. You would have had all that in there.
That's right.
Apparently, there was a movie of it. The books was brutal. Like, it was brutal. I feel like I probably will get struck by YouTube if I say what it is. It's really rough, especially the first book. No. So yeah.
So what, the title?
Huh? No.
Say what?
What was in the books?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I want to say that when you said Clan of the Cave Bear, I was like, wait a second, why does that ring a bell like a movie?
There was a movie adaptation.
So, yeah, okay. That's what I thought.
But apparently it wasn't as rough.
I like it.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it. So
No, I haven't either.
As a fan of the book, you might not like it, but if you just watch the movie, I found it entertaining.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
cool.
and it was interesting because I mean it was based on the science that they had in the 90s, so it's different. But based on the science then, they weren't sure Neanderthals could speak, and I mean they could. They were like really close to us. They would pass for a normal person on the street basically. But back then, I guess they didn't know they had speech. So in the story, the Neanderthals had this language that was all sign language. And with like some tiny little bit of vocalizations because they thought Neanderthal vocal cords weren't that good. So I mean that was like it was this linguistic thing that also I found really interesting.
Oh, that's cool.
Burned into my mind. Yeah.
No, I
It's
think
cool.
that's pretty cool.
It was cool. That cave here fucked them up. Yeah, they did. Hi Brian, what's up?
What's up, Brian?
Dang, chat's still going at it. Still going at Mark Brooks.
I kind of thought that too. A little primitive language has to just drop F-bombs all over the place and stuff. And look, I'm no prude, and I've got a mouth like a trucker too. But I find it better if you're going to try to go back and forth with somebody like yesterday. it might keep a little. It might help prove your point if you just try and keep it a little cleaner there, Mark. So.
I mean, it was just that. It was like him and Ethan are both yelling at each other, but like. Yeah. The way Mark was doing it was just childish. At one point, he was just like, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up.
Right.
Like,
well, that's the thing. It's like ask a question, start to answer, and then say, shut up, shut up, shut up.
And like he would demand to not be interrupted, then interrupt everybody.
He was saying, what was the thing he kept calling him over and over again? Narcissist, narcissist.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I was like, okay.
Ethan did call him a fatty, but to be fair, he called both of them fatties. So.
He did. He said we're both fatties. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did like
very
that.
humble.
But as soon as he started, Ethan hopped on. He didn't say anything other than
I know.
That was crazy.
Talk about throwing another person off their game, man. That just cracked me up.
Oh God. Yeah, I mean, that really works though. I'm starting to do this. It's,
well, it was weird though, because I've seen him quite a bit, and it was really odd to see Mark that overweight. Like, I was like,
I got to admit, I was really surprised by that too, compared to like profile pictures and stuff.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, wait a sec. Is that? No, that's not.
Yeah.
So
he was always in really great shape, which is why like that whole like dreaded Pirate Roberts thing, I was like, well, I'm like, he kind of looks like that guy a little bit. And then I saw him in the thing and I was going, he doesn't look like that guy anymore. Like, he used to kind of have an Errol Flynn like sort of look with this weird goatee and everything.
Well, it's all because of that MMA training that he does once a week.
Whoa, I can't even imagine the MMA training makes him look like that.
I know. He needs to get a new trainer.
Yeah.
So.
That doesn't look like you're doing MMA every week. Yeah, Javier. We know. I mean, everybody here knows all this bullshit. Yeah. If you disagree with the mainstream, they call you all the names. It's stupid.
Yeah, pretty much. And it's not just,
cool thing, if you really want to see the Mark Brooks tirade, when you go back and rewatch Reenie's stream, we got it in there.
Oh yeah, well it was me on a tirade, but I think I made a little more sense.
No, you made total sense. So,
and I think I made some good points. Albeit
all they did was basically puff out their chests and go, "Oh, me bad, no, me better."
It was so entertaining. It was like this base level caveman entertainment, like fatty sociopath.
I was watching a little bit of Bancroft before I came in here, and he had it like on like 3 times speed or something, and they were like, you. And it was like chipmunks going at it. It was crazy.
Oh my God!
Oh, you mean you were watching Bancroft while you're waiting for the link to get onto the channel?
No, I just assumed I wasn't getting the link earlier. I just like,
oh,
damn, rub it in more. Why
no, I've always said before, like when she'd post the link before, just to come in, a lot of times I would wait like 45 minutes for whoever the guest is to come in and just like hit it hard with like promoting their book or whatever, and then I'd come in so that like if I added something, it wouldn't like the promotional wouldn't go off track. So there was a good chunk of time of just like everybody knows what it is and they know they need to back it, where they need to go. And like, so, and that's usually what would happen. So I didn't think anything of it. I was just like, oh, she's just going to promote for a while. So that's cool.
Oh,
so,
okay.
But this was like, it was like a half hour before you were even on though, when I saw that Bancroft thing.
I haven't seen that.
Funny.
I got to go watch that.
Yeah, you got to watch
it. Everybody's just laughing their ass off at it.
Well, and that's the thing too, is it's like he knew he was on a live stream. He knew it was going to be clipped and shown and all that. He knows it. There's no way he doesn't know it, and he acts that way. And whereas with Ethan,
he did know it, but he immediately accused them of saying, "Oh, you're going to plaster this all over social media," and then our wonderful host was like, "Well, actually, social media basically does that by itself."
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
but the thing is, like, he was going off, unhinged, and yes, Ethan was yelling back at him, not as much, but I think Ethan was more calculated in what he was saying.
Yeah, let's not pretend that, just because they were both yelling, that means what they were saying had equal value. Like,
no, not at all. Mark was totally unhinged, because that's why I liked watching it twice, because the first time it was like, wow, what am I watching? And it's entertainment and stuff. But then the second time, it's like a movie. The second time you can watch it, and because you know what's happening, you can dissect it better and just see some of this. I mean, one great example is Ethan got Mark to admit. So what you're saying is, if we come up to you at your table, you're going to punch us or assault us or whatever, however Ethan worded it. And he said that, and he got Mark to say, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh
the
my
moment
God,
you
dude.
approach, if
Here,
anyone
let me
you
open the
PG
door.
approach,
Let me.
I know what you're
Jesus.
going to do, and I'm going to assume you're here for that, and we're going to go down. I'm
Yeah.
going to throw it. I'm going to punch you.
Jeez.
And he got him
Yeah.
to admit it again, which,
I
you know, the
mean-
first time he says it's bad, Mark says it out of his own mouth, bad enough. The second time when Ethan's like, let me get you to repeat that. And the way
Right.
he got him to repeat it, I was like, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah. I think Dave Williams posted the outtake of the specific
Yeah.
moment when he was like, I will beat your ass if
Yep.
you come see me. I'm like, holy fucking shit.
And then he was telling
this
him
is a
to come
Marvel cover artist. And Ethan was making good points, you know, like, well,
Oh, yeah.
you know, everybody's calling each other names, but like, dude, who was actually bringing up good points? Who was bringing up facts? And
Right.
I think I would be interested to hear if Brooks had something to say to criticize Comicsgate about, you know, if he wanted to talk about fulfillment or anything in the past, if they want to talk about War Campaign, which Comicsgate disavowed, but if he wants to bring that up, cool, let's have that discussion. But he didn't. He was just screaming and starting fights.
Well, and he kept accusing Ethan of having multiple accounts. And Ethan's like, number one, I don't have time to do this, much less have more than one account. And he goes, I can show you. I've already showed my Twitter that I don't have more than one. Oh, you're lying. Well, you prove it, you know, and they couldn't. So Ethan was very
he had proved it. I was like, what?
To do it and realize that Mark made zero headway, 0 points. It was a TKO by Ethan.
Yeah. Okay, let's never let it be said that because Comicsgate is politically incorrect and anybody who's anti-woke just because we make edgy jokes that we're the bad guys. I mean, look at the shit Mark was saying on that stream. I will point to that stream time and time again. That is enshrined. He is representing Marvel and mainstream comics and speaking for other pros. I mean, you know, not really. He's speaking for himself. But if we want to use the same logic that they use on us, then, well, what he's saying represents a whole group.
Oh, I can name a bunch of people that
unless they're going to disavow him, are they going to do? Are they going to? I know. I've seen what people say in backrooms before. I'm probably kicked out of all of them now.
But realistically, that whole thing when they were going, it was like 2001 Space Odyssey, you know, the ape scene. And I was waiting for Mark to go down and grab a bone and go, I mean, it was just surreal that it devolved into that. There was no attempt at real conversation on his part at all.
No. It would have been nice to have a real conversation, like genuinely. But
well,
you know,
that's
I'm fine with just entertainment. That was fucking hilarious. Dan Lawless makes a great point. Mark doesn't understand that accusing someone of being racist destroys their career. That's why people get angry. Yes, fucking exactly. None of them understand this. They throw around this accusation like it's fucking nothing. And they don't understand it's fucking damning. People actually care about this, especially in America, because this is not a very racist country. People take it seriously. And even an accusation completely baseless can tarnish your reputation.
Not only
they
that,
don't
but people
fucking
use
understand
the word
that.
Nazi pretty freely.
Right.
Yes,
and,
exactly.
Crazy.
To them, it's just another adjective.
I mean, it pisses me off that they watered down the term of Nazi, far-right, fascist. Those are not things that should be watered down to anybody who's just mildly right-wing. But that's what's happened in the current cultural framework. And that's bad enough because they're watering down and making light of these very serious ideologies. But also they try to destroy people by just throwing. It's like if I just, you know, took anybody who's a liberal and said, you're a commie, and this was like the 50s and shit, like it would destroy them. And like,
well, the other thing too is
shocking that people would be mad about that. Whoa.
They haven't thrown fascists around at us, but you know, getting to politics, people on the left love throwing that around to people on the right. Oh, he's a fascist and all this. It's like, what? Look at the stuff you guys want to take away and control, and the stuff that we want to let be out there, and you know, the rights that people have and stuff. And you're the ones calling us fascists. It is such projection. It's not even funny.
Right.
And that's what kills me. They're just so goddamn blind to it.
And it's like, it's no different than anything that we like. You know, She-Hulk. Do you like the show? No. oh my God, you're sexist. You're a man. You don't like the show. And I'm like, no, I don't like it because it's very poorly written. Oh, Rings of Power. Oh my God, you don't like it. You're a sexist. You're a misogynist. No, it's just terrible.
Oh, and you're racist.
And racist, yes. Because, and I'm like, I just want good quality stuff. Then you can turn around and say, well, what about House of Dragon? Very good show. And they don't have any of that crap in there.
Yeah, exactly. And it's the lack of meritocracy, and I think it is what they're doing, the wokeness in Hollywood, for lack of a better term. It's the people that it insults the most aren't just the fans, it is the people they claim to represent, because what you do by saying that minorities and women and whoever, well, the best we deserve is by subverting and replacing existing franchises that had European roots and shit like Lord of the Rings. Well, that's insulting because there are tons of stories, cultural stories from other parts of the world that you could use to represent. So why subvert something that already exists? And you're using this for cheap marketing. You're trying to cook up cheap drama, and you're watering down the original. Correct. It's completely disrespectful. So like part of it is subversion. Yeah, it's the lack of actual good writing, but also the subversion that pisses people off. And they know what they're doing. They want to get anger clicks.
Right.
But it's not sustainable.
Well, it's like Marvel's platform of, X-Men #1, and then we'll go to X-Men 10, and then we'll start over with X-Men #1. The only way we can sell the books now is by releasing them as #1s and putting out 20 different covers. And it's only good in the short term, and it has destroyed the American comic book industry. Hence why all the people that are looking for good stories that are sustainable are coming to place like on Indiegogo, Kickstarter, CG, independent creators that are willing to put in the time and effort and give you good story.
Yeah, I think that, this isn't sustainable, and sooner or later they're going to run out of things that they can subvert. They're going to run out of things that they can change and ruin because, well, look at the MCU. They've killed off the characters that begin the first round of MCU. It ended with Endgame, and nobody cares about the new characters. They're trying to replace them, but nobody cares because they didn't establish a new foundation. They want to build off these existing characters that came before them and say, well, you loved Iron Man, so you should love Ironheart, right? And if you don't, you're racist. No, that's not how it works. I'm sorry.
And see,
Ironheart
came out, and it was garbage.
I have no interest in Ironheart. Now, War Machine, it's a black character. It's another version of Iron Man, and it's cool.
Yeah, nobody cares about here's the thing. Nobody actually cares if it's a minority or a woman. No. They're using that as a fucking shield. The problem is, I think the problem with Ironheart is, I was saying to someone on Twitter that that's a great way to start a conversation. She's always been portrayed as trying to replace Iron Man, but War Machine isn't. War Machine is Iron Man's ally, and he's similar, but he's not. He was never taking Iron Man's place, and that's important. Why do these new characters have to take the place?
Well, not only that, but they build up Ironheart as smarter than Tony Stark.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And it's just like, are you kidding me?
She could build this armor in her garage where Tony needed an expensive lab because she's just that good.
No, it's just bad writing. That's just nobody wants to. It's not heroic to have a character that doesn't have to overcome anything, and it's just born.
There's no journey. There's nothing to improve on. You're a Mary Sue out of the gate, just like Rey in Star Wars. I mean, same thing. You're the best Jedi ever without doing anything or knowing anything because you're just awesome.
Well, didn't you know women shouldn't have journeys, because if we had to grow and learn and actually face challenges, then we wouldn't be perfect. It wouldn't be empowering anymore. It's not like overcoming challenges is what's empowering.
Right. Not like Ripley from Alien.
Well, that's what I was going to say. When Captain Marvel when Captain Marvel came out and Brie Larson was like, I think it was her that was like, "Oh, it's finally a movie with an empowered woman." It's like, what are you talking about, crazy person? There was Ripley from Aliens. There was
the most empowered ever.
There was what's her face from Terminator. It's like, what are you talking about? Well, and the same thing when Black Panther came out, and it was like, touting, the black hero and stuff. And Wesley Snipes is like, Blade from about 25 years ago.
Right?
Well,
and speaking of the new Black Panther movie, I like Namor in a way. I don't collect him, but this version of Namor, I look at it and I'm just like, why not just stick with the original that everybody likes? Maybe you guys will like it. I don't like the way they've designed it at all.
Yeah, good point.
Not even from Atlantis, they're saying.
No, because supposedly because DC already hit hard with Aquaman from Atlantis. They didn't want to do an Atlantis character as well, which is like, well, who cares? Marvel, you guys are already crushing DC. Do you think if you did Submariner, Namor from Atlantis, people would be like, oh, come on now, Marvel.
Oh,
really?
Atlantis is, you can't use Atlantis. That's copyrighted.
They would never do that. And honestly, this isn't
it's just called Lumeria.
This is a shot against the actor, I guess. But it's like, dude, should have seriously hit the gym a little harder. Just saying. I'm just saying. I mean, I look at that guy and I'm like, this dude is supposed to be, and it's not that he had to be bigger, because there's been depictions of Namor in the comics where when John Buscema did him, he was thicker and stuff. When John Byrne did him, he was leaner. This dude is lean, but he's not defined. It's like, dude, you should have just crushed that diet a little harder to get ripped just a little more. You didn't really have to add more mass, but you just look doughy. It's like,
I tried out for the part and they said, Dennis, you kind of need to let yourself go a little bit more if you want this part. I'm like, okay, I'll get some cheese curds.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm shocked that it didn't give you the part. They're missing out.
Wow, you said that so straight-faced. I'm impressed.
Forever known Dennis the Comicsgate Namor.
There you go.
I get humor sometimes, once in a blue moon, everybody.
I tried out for the part, but when I put the Speedos on, they asked me if I was tucking, and I was like, no.
Oh, no.
How dare you?
See, always got to take it that next level, Andy.
For like, we want Namor to look like he has a package. You're out. And I'm like, well, excuse me.
Oh,
I thought this was the new Marvel.
It's like they're besties. They always just have to one-up each other a little more. You see what's going on here? What a great
I was like, that's not a camel toe. It's a moose knuckle. Now leave me alone.
Dang, that was mean of them.
I know.
It's like the old LA Gear pump shoes. Andy's got a little pump.
I'm like, wait a second. Give me. I was like, hold on. I was told there was going to be a fluffer on the set. What's the problem? Now, Rini, do you know what a fluffer is, or do we have to explain that?
I can imagine. Thank you very much.
Just want to make sure you're in the know.
I think I've gathered the direction that this.
They look kind of like a waifu.
I just want to make sure you're in the know. I don't want anybody left out on this stream.
Thank you. I appreciate you taking me into consideration.
I care. The more you know.
I feel cared for. Yvonne has a good point of view, or a good point. He said point of view, and my brain kind of merged it all together. He's in the chat. He's not joining because he's working.
In the chat.
Yeah. He posted a while ago. Without an objective point of view in education, I don't even know if it's education. It's what type of education, Like what you need is free speech, and not just legally. And I think this is what we're discovering. It's not just legal free speech. It's societal. Like when you're afraid of losing your job, when you're afraid of everyone going after you, like that's a form of soft censorship. So what do you do with that? You need people who aren't fucking pussies. I don't know how else to put it. You need people who aren't fucking afraid of being called some names. Like if we just said no to these people, we would be fucking fine. Like I know so many people who are like, I don't agree with this, especially the left. Like so many of my friends, they're liberals. They don't like this censorious stuff. They don't like the woke skulls, but they're afraid. Right. They don't want to lose everything, so they don't speak out. And I'm like, on one hand, I understand, but a lot of people are pissed off at those people on the left because, well, they've essentially given ground. And that's why Hollywood and a lot of institutions have been taken over by, people who they're not liberals. And that word has been corrupted. They're censorious, they're extremists, and extremism on either side is censorious and is anti-free speech. So, I don't know. It's
when somebody
gets more people with balls.
when somebody gets canned off of Twitter, right? And I see people I know go, that's not censoring free. It's a private company. And I'm like, are you get the F out of here with the people that own those companies and with the government that they align with. The government basically just has, I know it pretty well. Terminology. With Twitter and Facebook basically being in the pocket of the left and stuff, it's kind of like when Obama was in office. He didn't have to give like a direct order, like, I want you to go do this. He could just state his opinion that goes that way. And then that was basically people going, oh yeah, we got you. So when somebody says, oh, it's a private company, they can ban whoever they want. Yeah. Look at who they're banning and look at like this. Like we said, if one of us went on a nutbag tirade like Brooks did last night, you think that would fly? Hell no.
No, it would be over. If any one of us, not even just the big guys in CG, any of us.
It would be over. If Brooks and Ethan just swap positions, Ethan would be banned right now. Marvel would have probably canned him.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think Brooks is going to be fine. I don't even know. Like, I think I'm like 50% sure Mark is going to get a call and be told to like at least say, I disavow violence at conventions or violence in any shape or form anywhere. But I'd like he's going to do some formal statement. But then the other 50% of me is like, no, like Marvel's completely taken over. They don't care. And he's technically a freelancer. So I just don't know. It's completely unfair. And the issue with what is the public square is a hard problem to solve because, yes, Twitter is a private company. Yet I think our legal system hasn't caught up to the internet age and how the public square should function when you have the internet, because, the internet used to be the Wild West. It's not quite anymore. So what do you do when you have a platform like Twitter? Should it be, well, after you have a certain amount of reach, a certain amount of followers, you essentially have to, your TOS needs to be the United States Constitution? Is that how it should be? Perhaps, but we need to have that conversation.
Well, the other thing too is if they're going to, so this is, what I heard, this goes more to Facebook. If Facebook is going to start editing people and editing posts and stuff like that, then it falls into the category, from what I've heard, of a publisher. And if they're a publisher, that's a totally different ballgame, you know. Yeah, because that even goes down to photographs and stuff at that point. Now, not a photograph I take and post, but if I share something and they're a publisher, then it's like, whoa, you can't do that, because that's like People Magazine grabbing a photo and not, without the rights to it and stuff. Mm-hmm. So that, that's where it plays into as well. Same with Twitter. It's like, well, and, and there's always that analogy of AT&T going, if you're making a phone call and it's like somebody's listening, going, nope, can't say that. And it's like, whoa, you're what? This is just a phone call. You can't be doing that.
Right. The problem is, once Twitter and Facebook and YouTube, they're supposed to be platforms. They're not supposed to be editorializing anything that's posted on it, except they have this TOS that is ever changing. And every time people get banned, and then these platforms claim that, well, you broke TOS, but then you can point to another person that did the exact same thing, but they didn't get in trouble either because they were just more famous, or they had more followers, or they had the right politics. It could be any of those things. So obviously TOSs are not equally applied. It really depends on other factors, and it could be just people don't get in trouble if you have money, or you're famous and you have the right politics, and it's a lot of this. The people who are making the decisions seems to be some intern at Twitter or Facebook or YouTube who just decides, oh, this person offends me, so I can pin this one TOS line on them. I think the idea of, someone posted about the public square should not be controlled by the bricklayers who built the square. I like that. I haven't thought this through very much. I'm not that smart. I'm not a politician, but I like the idea so far without really having thought of a reason not to, of a platform becoming essentially the public square if there's enough people using it. Like, you have to follow the Constitution. You don't get to just ban whoever you want, and your TOS has to not be just what offends Californians.
Yeah, see right. Dan said if they're a publisher, they can be sued for defamation. They want it both ways. He's right. The problem is they want to be treated like an individual company to do what they want, but realistically, they're acting like a utility, and they actually should be governed by that of like a utility. So it's going to be interesting as we see Twitter going through this, and I don't think they're going to be alone in this, or we're going to start seeing the free open sites is where everybody's going to go to, and all of these Naziistic, I guess, fascist ones that are going to censor everything you say and kick them off, people are going to leave, except for the small people that are going to be in the echo chambers.
Yeah, we should. Why don't we turn it back on them? Use their game. Let's start calling them Nazis. See how they feel.
Yeah,
they act more like it than anyone else. There's a member chat from FKA. Thank you.
I'm surprised the memes haven't come out yet with all the hand gesturing Mark was making. I was like, oh no,
holy shit.
That people are going to clip that.
There have been a few. I'm pretty sure the hot.
I haven't seen them yet, so
I'm pretty sure they're out. It's been great. FK322, member for 2 months. Thank you very much for your member chat. FK says, FYI, Ricada had his channel deleted. Yeah, we mentioned it at the beginning. I don't know why yet. I mean, he probably said something edgy.
I really don't. I haven't watched his channel much. In fact, the most I watched it was during the Rittenhouse trial. I watched him every day last year during that trial. And I don't understand I just don't get it. He's a lawyer. He has a good channel that, he talks about, everyday stuff as well. But when he's talking about trial stuff and he has his lawyer friends on to help break it down and stuff, I'm just like, that is just awesome. It just boggles my mind.
His channel is good. I mean, what I don't get, if he hasn't been canceled so far, how do they cancel him now? Because he does shit like Read Unbreaded, and everyone knows what his channel is. It's just he gets drunk, he talks about the law, and he obviously knows very well what's within legal limits, and he doesn't cross that even when he's fucking plastered, and we see that time and time again. So I have no idea what YouTube nailed him on this time.
No, I mean, they're saying it was a mass flagging attack.
Of course it was.
He was reading a super chat or something like that.
Oh, I don't know.
It probably was mass flagging. That's another thing. Yeah, if
they did that to Frege back in the day.
They need to have guardrails. Well, when you read a super chat and the super chat has something in it that'll get you banned, or mass flagging. Like, there needs to be a safeguard against mass flagging, for fuck's sake.
Well, now what's that? I don't even know what that is.
So it's when a bunch of people coordinate and all report your channel, and the platforms will say, oh, this account or channel has so many people saying they're horrible, so we're going to just take them down. And then you have to fight them and say, this is bullshit. I can prove that whatever they're saying is wrong. This is there's no, because like the mass flagging could be it's probably really easy to just get like 1 million fake accounts or like pay people to do this shit. And these people
do you mean bots that don't exist?
Bots, right? Because I mean,
exactly.
The bots that they accuse us of having.
Exactly. Or it just feels like a different version of the review bombing, which is why She-Hulk has such bad ratings and stuff, because it's all the review bombings, because all the bots are just out there review bombing it.
It's just bots. We're all bots, everybody.
That's right.
Oh
my God. I could be the robot.
It's
Let's talk about something happy.
I know.
Exactly.
Well, I do have something happy, because we're talking about how great things come in the mail. I know you guys are a nerd, but I did get. So I'm also Amigo collector along with all the other stuff. I did get the Admiral Kirk from Star and Khan from, obviously these are the two from Khan. So I just did an unboxing on our channel of the motion picture Spock, and I also got the Mirror Universe ones. and I kind of had them in my enterprise and stuff like that. So this was unexpected. I didn't know it was coming this quick. So I'm going to be trying to do an unboxing tomorrow.
Oh, you're actually going to open those? They won't be mint in box anymore.
I know.
Oh,
I'm kind of done
no.
with that.
Dennis is going to play with his toys. And then when I come over, I'm going to
I'll
put
be like Dark Helmet, and they'll knock, and I'll be like, knock before you come in. No, sir, I didn't see you playing with your dolls again.
I'm going to put Khan's clothes on Kirk and Kirk's clothes on Khan.
If this were our channel, I would just cut you out right now.
I know you would, but you're not.
Look, I hear you. Okay.
I know you're not a Star Trek fan, are you, Rini?
I've seen quite a bit of Next Gen, but not in general.
I got my 2001 Space Odyssey figures.
Look at that disappointment on his face. I did see a lot of Next Gen. I just can't name every single episode. It was on for free at the shitty apartment I lived in college with 6 roommates.
Rini, open the pod bay door.
Yes, Hal.
I love it.
Please,
Dave,
Rini, open the pod bay door.
Dave, why aren't you talking to me, Dave?
That's right. Dave.
I'm a little creeped out.
Now, do you have a little Hal? Do you have a little Hal 3000?
Yeah, there's a little HAL 3000, but it's not the whole like bench thing. It's just like the little terminal with the little eye thing on it. I've got that one. They made they made Dave Bowman. They made the his partner, the guy that gets thrown out into space. I can't remember the other guy's name. It's Dave Bowman and then the other guy.
The other guy.
And then they made the gray suit one from the guys that went to the moon that found the monolith on the moon.
Yep.
They made that guy. And then
Did they make the monolith?
They made the monolith. There's a big full-size monolith with the figures that comes with the monkey with the bone.
Oh my God! Seriously?
I've
never seen
Super
that.
7 if you go to like Big Bad Toy Store or Entertainment Earth, I'm almost 100% positive you can still get them. And the boxes that come in are like super nice.
Rini, have you ever seen 2001 Space Odyssey?
Nope.
No.
$5 with the super stickers, a little Sheba punch. Thank you, Barb Rogers, for the $5 Canadian, which is probably like $1 US now. Oh, wait, that's
hasn't
Euro.
seen anything before.
Actually, they're pretty close right now.
Really?
Yeah.
With the Euro is doing bad. They're for lights. I know that meme, but that's only because Tim Pool talks about it all the time. There are 4 lights. Oh, I know one meme. Yay.
That's funny.
I've never seen a movie. You're right. Oh, let's refresh again. Let's see where KOR-DRATH.
Like anything pre-Rini.
Right. My birth in 1999.
Pre-Rini BC.
I was born in 1999. I don't know anything that happened before.
You know, I made my kids and wife watch a 2001 Space Odyssey, and they absolutely hate it. They absolutely now it's in every movie, you know, the top 20 list. It's always in the top 10. It's always in the top 10. They absolutely hated it. Matter of fact, it was my wife's most hated movie until we just watched Blonde.
Oh, don't watch that movie.
Oh, is that the Marilyn Monroe?
Yes.
Is it bad?
It's awful. It's awful.
Is it all victim? Whoa.
No, it's just it. No, the actress did a fantastic job. Woo!
Okay, we're going all night until you get to 56. Woo! Let's go.
Thank you guys.
Yeah.
No, the woman that played her was great. The acting was great. The directing was garbage, and the story
was fantastic.
Oh,
Dan,
it was.
It's your show.
It was. You know, I read a thing about there's a couple of abortion scenes in it, and it's like, well, I mean, you know, it's a typical thing. She's laying there. She has the covers on. Her legs are in the stirrups. You see the doctor, but then the one that's weird is when the director does a shot from inside her vajayjay looking out to the equipment coming in, and you're just like,
why is that necessary?
That's just gross. And yeah, the story and the direct. Don't watch.
There's no redeeming value other than FKA says Anna de Armas is hot. She was.
She was.
Watch Blade Runner if you want to see that.
She was she in Blade Runner?
Yeah, she was the hologram girlfriend of the main character.
Oh shit, you're right. That's right.
And there was giant shots of her like all over the city as a hologram and stuff.
Yeah.
If you want to see her looking amazing, watch that.
That's right. That's right. I totally forgot about that. Wow. Yeah, don't watch it.
Yeah, if you want to watch something right now, give Dahmer a shot. If you want something.
Dahmer was good. 10 episodes.
We're going to do a review on it this week.
I like parts of it.
Oh, did you watch all 10?
Yeah, there was an episode I just fast forwarded through. I'm like, this is not information that I even need. Like,
wait, which one was it? I think I know what you're talking about.
It was the episode. There was no Dahmer in it, pretty much.
It was just the neighbor, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, what is this bullshit? I don't care about the neighbor and Jesse Jackson.
It was the one that was all about the guy the deaf guy that gets killed. It was like,
yes,
it's Tony. Like I don't hate that guy, but like I didn't need that much backstory about him to feel bad for him. Like I felt bad for all those guys that got murdered.
All those guys, exactly.
But I'm like,
yes, I feel bad for every single victim of that nut job.
Yeah.
But I did not need a whole backstory on this one dude. Now, if it was like, maybe if it was the guy that got away in the end, his backstory, because, hey, the guy got away and stuff.
Nobody listened.
Or maybe it was an episode of what happened to that guy after, But one of the dudes, I mean, it's like, okay, so why did you pick this guy? Did you just pick to do an episode about him because he happened to be deaf as well? So it's more tragic because it was a deaf guy?
It was the only character that he actually connected with. The rest of them really were just meat. And the director tried to bring out an emotional response, because if you get attached to one of the characters, your emotional response is much stronger. And it worked, in that episode, as long as you didn't fast forward through it.
I watched most of it, and to a certain point, I was like, what does this have to do with the rest of it? And so then I started fast forwarding through it, because I was just like, and the other problem I had with that show, there was big sections where they showed me the same thing twice, sometimes 3 times, and I'm like, I've already seen this. They should have just showed it linear, like that was my other problem with it. I was like, well,
they could have done. I like the first episode. How it was basically the end when he got caught.
Yeah.
But then after that, they could have just went straight linear and it would have been fine.
Yeah.
But
we're going to be doing, we do reviews. We actually go see movies
classic,
usually every week, and then we watch, movies on TV and stuff. We do a lot of reviews. Speaking of which, in the private chat, I did pop our link to the DNA show and stuff. So you guys, if you pop it out there, there's some new faces in here. So you guys should sign up and subscribe to the Dennis and Andy show. And then, because we do reviews on comic books and movies and TV shows and unboxing and toys and all the great nerdy stuff.
Every now and then, Dennis likes to talk about his stupid Packers. Ugh, who cares?
Oh.
Packers?
Bringing up here representing Coolio. Rest in peace.
Dude, right? Another one. He wasn't that old either.
I know.
Oh, yeah. Coolio.
Coolio wasn't that old either. Oh, Reen, that's what I was going to ask you before you went off. What was the first movie you saw in a theater? Do you remember?
I think it was Titanic.
Oh, my God.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Jesus.
What?
The sad part is when she went to watch it, at the end, she was like, it sank? Why would a movie end so tragically?
Oh yeah, I was little.
Did you go, what's wrong with you? There's plenty of room on that bed for him.
Yeah, I think even as a tiny child, I was like, why isn't he?
Move over, bitch. There's room on that door.
Yeah, it was anybody with eyes was like, what is wrong with you, bitch?
No. You go ahead without me.
Oh.
Okay, what was the first comedy you saw? Do you remember that?
No.
Do you have Do you have a favorite comedy movie? Have you seen?
That's a lot of hard thought.
Have you ever seen Tommy Boy?
Tropic Thunder?
That's awesome. That's a good one. That is a good one.
If I had a bell,
I have
I'd
high
ring it and
standards
go,
for comedy.
No, that's a good one. But Tommy Boy's a good one.
I passed the test.
No, Tropic Thunder. That's a great answer. That movie is awesome.
No, most comedy is so bad.
Smokey and the Bandit.
Oh, you've heard of it though.
Oh my God,
I've heard of it.
You know,
probably because I brought it up.
Just pretend you're talking to like your granddaughter or something.
I see Spaceballs. Spaceballs is one of my favorites. Blues Brothers is good.
What about Old School? You ever see Old School?
Oh, that's a good one.
It is.
Dodgeball?
If you can dodge wrenches, you can dodge balls.
Dunstan checks in.
Oh my God. That movie was so good.
Well, Rini, I really feel like we need to broaden your comedic horizons here a bit.
I know. What about horror movies? Wait, you don't like horror movies, or do you? I can't remember.
No, I love horror movies.
All right, what's your favorite horror movie?
Except most of them are shit, so.
Well, what's your favorite one? Do you have one?
Abbott Costello Meet the Mummy.
What's your guys?
Horror movie. Depends on what you define as horror. Would Old Boy be horror?
Old Boy? No.
No.
Maybe.
What about the other one that director did that I can never remember the fucking title of?
Train to Busan?
No, not that.
Well, what do you like? Do you like hack slash? Do you like paranormal shit?
Monsters.
Cabin in the Woods. That's my favorite horror movie.
Oh, Cabin in the Woods. Honestly, Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah.
Cabin in the Woods is great.
Oh, or I Spit on Your Grave just because it's.
Oh my God! I Spit on Your Grave just effed me up as a kid. I can't even believe you know that one.
Yeah,
talk about an old movie. When the hell did you watch that?
What about the Alien movies? Have you seen Alien or Aliens?
No. Oh, I've seen one of the Alien movies.
I'm hurt so bad.
Put it this way. So you've seen I Spit on Your Grave, right?
Yes.
So the scene, obviously, that every man watches in terror is the bathtub scene.
Uh-huh.
And I'm just thinking, she likes that movie. Guys, if you date Rini, don't piss her off. And if you date Rini and you piss her off and she says, let's take a bath, don't do it. Or check all the kitchen knives first. Make sure all the knives are in the right place.
Why would I ever? I am a
Oh my God.
I know. What about Bone Tomahawk?
Oh yeah, have you ever seen Bone Tomahawk?
No.
That's too obscure and new for her.
Oh, I like Don't Breathe.
Oh,
what about John Carpenter's The Thing?
No, just stop asking me about these old movies.
No, Don't Breathe. Did you say you saw Don't Breathe or no?
Yeah, I did.
Did you see the second one?
Second was great.
Yeah, it was good.
Those were good.
Yeah, they were both really good.
Yeah. Rocky Horror. You know, I saw, for a time in the 80s when I was a teenager, every Saturday night, let's go watch the midnight show, Rocky Horror Picture Show. And
did you bring toast or rice?
Yes, we did all that shit. And I'm so over that movie because it was just for like a summer straight for like every damn week.
Napoleon
and I was all right,
Dynamite. Yes. Thank you, Pedro.
Napoleon Dynamite.
And of course, it's Dan Lawless bringing up Napoleon and Dynamite. Uncle Rico.
Pedro for president for bringing that up.
That's right.
The Halloween movies, you gotta like the original Halloween.
Oh, dude, Dennis, next weekend, I was actually going to say, I won't be here. Shit. We're going to have to wait till you get back.
I was going to say next weekend when I'm in different states.
No, because you're leaving Friday, but we're leaving Wednesday. I was going to say we could see it Thursday, but I'll be gone.
No, we're screwed.
Oh, look, I'm not alone. Marumi's with me.
Marumi. He even has that look on his face when you bring it up.
This feels like
in my face.
When Rini comes up to Charlotte, you just got to come up for a weekend. It feels like we've got to put together a rainy weekend movie extravaganza and like pop some popcorn and drink lots of alcohol and watch movies because you're really missing a lot of culture.
Wait, here's a good question.
I would love to. Let's not sleep Saturday night. Just watch movies until the con.
Do you know I would be worthless at the con on Sunday, which some people would say is every day.
Anyway,
I was going to say.
I'm not expecting to function either. So
do you know the term "jumping the shark"?
Mm-hmm.
What's it from?
Jaws?
No. You seriously don't know? Okay, what's the term?
No, she's probably never even seen.
Hold on. What does the term actually mean?
It means you jump ahead on a discussion or before we're supposed to reach that point.
No. You should just stop right now. No, it does not. Dennis.
Look at that. Romy and John, they've nailed it already. They've got it.
Dennis, explain jumping the shark. When a show jumps the shark.
When things are going so badly that it started in Happy Days. You know who Fonzie is? Hey.
You know the show Happy Days? Come on.
Not no Happy Days.
Oh
Richie Cunningham.
When did this air?
The 70s. But it's a classic.
I know that.
It's a classic. That's why.
Laverne and Shirley. Oh. Fonzie was water skiing, and he's like the cool guy, and he winds up and having to jump a shark.
You should Google Happy Days.
He doesn't even know who you guys are.
Jumping the shark.
Sitting here being, do you know 中华小厨师? Do you know Wang Xiang? Do you know all these other shows? Oh my God, you didn't grow up with it? Have you seen 蓝色大门? Oh my gosh, I'm so shocked.
Oh, now you're just talking silly. No, you should go. You could share YouTube real quick if you wanted and put in the search Happy Days jumping the shark.
Okay.
And see, here's what happened. So Happy Days was a really good show in the 70s. And there was, the cast of characters.
I still liked it even when it jumped the shark.
What's that?
Did you really?
I still liked it even when it jumped the shark.
Well, okay. So the main character, one of the main characters, the Fonz, is the real cool guy in the show.
Henry Winkler.
And Henry Winkler's the actor. From he does this dumb thing where he's water skiing and he literally jumps over a shark. And from that point on, the show pretty much went downhill. So when an episodic show takes that awful dive going down after like one episode, it's called, the show jumped the shark.
Oh, and that's not what I thought it meant.
And that is where the term came from. And there's other shows in history you can look at and be like, oh yeah, that show, that jumped the shark during that.
Oh.
Yeah.
But that's what the term means. So.
Okay.
But Happy Days was a really good show, and it just got so that was it. That it was just seriously, that's what you're doing.
Wow. Well, I just don't know what to say. Sci-fi. What kind of sci-fi do you watch?
Ghost in the Shell.
What was it?
Did you like the Ghost in the Shell live action movie with Scarlett Johansson?
Oh my God.
I didn't see it. I refused to watch it.
I mean, it wasn't great, so I'm not going to fault you for that. My daughter really wanted to see it. I was like, all right, we'll go see it. But
I kind of like with these adaptations, I listened to what people I trust say about it first, and it seemed like the plot was, it was like they mashed together the Puppet Master plot with Hideo Kuze, and I'm like, how does that work? It doesn't really make sense. And it was kind of some stuff from the Oshi movie, but also from both seasons of the Kamiyama show, and I'm just like, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah. So, I didn't obviously catch that stuff in it. I just didn't think it was that great of a movie. So
okay, well, you have like not a fan of Ghost in the Shell view, and even you think it's bad. So that's it.
Well, and I like Ghost in the Shell. I've seen some of the anime. I have a few of the books because I love Shiro's artwork. I just love his art. So I've got all his Intron Depot books. I've got the trade paperbacks of Ghost in the Shell, but I don't know the rest of the references you brought up. But just watching the movie, yeah, it was just like, So
Firefly is overrated crap. I'm just reading some of the chat.
How
Battlestar
dare
Galactica. Woo!
You know,
right.
Firefly.
I just got my
Battlestar all the way.
Galactica poster this week. I was so excited.
Firefly has this Firefly, it's this weird thing where it's kind of cheesy, but it's also really charming. Honestly, what bothered me the most about Firefly was the Chinese they smoke was shit.
Yep.
It was so bad. They were like, oh, everybody speaks Chinese in this world. I'm like, no, they don't.
Oh, really?
It's so bad. There are multiple examples of all these really good movies where they try to incorporate some Chinese because for like 20 years everybody's been like China's rising power. So like Firefly and fucking Arrival. I loved Arrival, but that one fucking shit line of Chinese she's supposed to be a linguist. She's supposed to really speak Farsi and Chinese and like all these other languages. And then that this crucial moment in the story, I won't spoil it, but it's a very crucial moment in the story. She's supposed to say something in Chinese over the phone to a native Chinese speaker, and it's like literally the world depends on it. And she's like, what? And it clearly it wasn't a dialect. I know when it sounds like a dialect. It wasn't. They were speaking Mandarin. Like because of the situation, you knew it had to be Mandarin. And she says it's Mandarin. And they're like, do you speak Mandarin? And it's like it was so bad. And it ruined everything. I'll point this out. So the Villeneuve Dune, the Chinese in it was good. It was like one line of it where Yui, I think the actor who played Yui probably was a native speaker. He sounded like a native speaker, but he said this one line to Paul, and the Paul actor fucking practiced his reply. He had one line reply. It was perfect, pitch perfect. I was like, yes, thank you. I already love the movie, but I love it even more. It's not that hard. You're a Hollywood production. You have millions of dollars. Hire a language coach. Jesus Christ. Okay, I'm done.
Oh, wow.
Are you okay?
Irene's broken.
She's broken. I saw one of the guys say Space Battleship Yamato. Very cool. Star Blazers. They also did a live action movie, which was pretty solid for being low budget. But yes, that's pretty awesome.
Even better than Space Battleship Yamato, Arcadia of my youth.
Yes. And Captain Harlock, if you haven't seen the new one on Prime, that's solid animation. It looked great.
I have. The CG one, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's great.
Yeah, Star Blazers $21.99, and then what is it?
I got Harlock right up there.
Do you?
I do.
Of course. Shaky cam alert.
Oh, shaky cam. All right.
Oh, wait.
We'll beep when shaky cam is
It's
over,
in the red.
Okay? So
wait.
Don't look at the camera.
Right next to the guy with the axe and the Jawa.
Yep, to the right. Andy's
I got
the
a
one
Garth
on the right.
right there and a shark.
That's awesome.
And right there is you can't really see her, but Cara Dune's right there. Yeah. And then there's my big fat face.
Hi, Dan.
Oh, and somebody asked if I actually saw Standalone Complex. So Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex.
Shaky cam.
I like the video game.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh yeah, Standalone Complex. Okay, so Kamiyama, the director I just mentioned, he directed Standalone Complex, Second Gig, and Solid State Society. So the two early 2000s TV shows and the movie that followed it. And then it was kind of weird. Innocence was another movie that was between Second Gig and Solid State, but that was by Oshii again. And it's weird because Oshii's work is kind of this disjointed alternate universe. It kind of makes sense technically with the rest of the franchise. It fits with the Kamiyama franchise, but it just feels so different. Anyways, I love Kamiyama's work on that. If you like Standalone Complex, watch Second Gig because it follows up to that, and I think it's brilliant. Like it's like standalone complex, but heightened. Like it's like international terrorism and stuff, and they travel all over the world. It's really cool, and like no kidding. Second gig was a reason I decided to. I mean, I always wanted to make comics, but it was a reason. It was after I saw that when I was 16, I was like, I think this is actually possible because that was the first time I realized animation or comics could be so serious. I hadn't seen Akira yet. You know, I really like standalone complex. I liked Princess Mononoke growing up because I like more like slightly darker stories. And I was like, but most anime out there is, and there is a lot of seinen out there, but most anime is that we get outside of Japan isn't the more mature stuff. But I was like, it can be complex. They're talking about like really deep, complex things. So
Billy Baxo was just mentioning, I don't know if you guys seen it. So I'm a huge Akira fan. I mean, that was my favorite in the genre in my age. But Cyberpunk 2077 Edge Runners, I just finished that.
You gotta be careful about Billy though. He's a big One Piece guy, so.
Oh really?
No, I keep on hearing Edge Runners is good.
I liked it. I'm a cyberpunk. So we used to do the different role playing games, even in the cyberpunk genres, Netrunner games, stuff like that. And I actually did some of the comic books, but that was a very solid anime. I was impressed with it.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I heard Edge Runners is good. It's so nice. It's just like, oh my god, all these bad adaptations. Finally, Japan, come save our asses. Oh, thank you. I haven't seen it yet. I'm hoping to. I'm so busy right now.
See, when I was a kid, my mom used to get me up at 8 o'clock, or she was a nurse, so I was up by 6 o'clock in the morning because back then there wasn't like cable. It was just TV. And 6 o'clock was Star Blazers and 6:30 was Robotech. So I would be up every morning in order to be able to watch those two shows every morning before school.
The antagonists were better in second gig. Yeah, like the whole thing with Kuze and Kusunagi's past, where her like when she was a kid and she used to know him, like I really liked that. It was so good. And there's a really cool sniper fight. Like it's like think of how the coolest way to frame a sniper fight, and like in animation too, but like you probably do it in comics. It was so cool. It's like they were like following the sights and then they follow the bullets while these two snipers are
that's cool.
Trying to snipe at each other from these really two tall buildings, but they're also trying to hack each other at the same time. It's the coolest shit ever. Holy fuck.
That is cool. That actually would be cool. Just the thought of a sniper fight, not just shooting from a distance, but being able to. That's just cool. I see Alex said Shadowrun was his favorite cyberpunk. It is. But then there was also Earth Dawn. Hopefully, if you did Shadowrun, you played Earth Dawn. Same universe, just different time periods. Because, Shadowrun was technology's here, then shit goes bad, and it reverts back to medieval times, kind of. So then you've got your Earth Dawn, and then technology comes back around, and it goes back into. So it's like a technological circle.
I see.
Battle of the Planets. Oh,
yeah, I like Battle of the Planets.
Yeah.
Billy likes. Billy says
Billy likes Dennis.
Dennis guy. Well, if you like Dennis, you should back KOR-DRATH.
That's right.
I looked for the link in the private chat. I didn't see it. Otherwise, I was gonna go favorite it. I don't know if you hit send or not.
It's there. There's a link in the private chat.
Is it?
Yeah, I just looked at
it.
Did
I post it? Here
I
we
don't
go.
see anything in mine. It's empty.
And Dennis show exclamation mark.
Yeah, I'm not.
Paste.
For some reason in mine, I'm not seeing it. I don't know why.
Oh.
Here
That
we
sucks.
go.
Well, guys, I'm going to turn into a pumpkin and call it. I got to get up soon.
Yeah. I was gonna say it's about time. We've been going for a while. I mean, we can just keep on talking about Pathfinder, but it's fine. I would like to get some drawing done tonight.
I copied it.
Drawing here, I'm like, well, let's see. I get up at 5 o'clock every morning, so I'm going to be up in about 4 hours. And
holy shit! Okay, let's wrap this up. Let's wrap this up. It'll be bloody.
4 more hours so that he's fresh and ready to go.
The problem is, seriously, no matter what time I go to bed, if I go to bed at 9 at night, I'm up at 5. If I go to bed at 12:30, by the time I get down there, I'll be up at 5. I'm up by 5 o'clock every morning.
All right.
True.
You trained yourself. Okie dokie. So starting with Dan, where does everybody find you?
You can find me on the YouTubes, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Boob Dan Art right there. Or Dan Plagle. Yeah, so like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, please. Also, on Indiegogo, we're still in demand with the Goblin Girl, which there she is. So please buy something. We always like to sell books. Hopefully everybody will be entertained. Billy is currently coloring pages. I will be prying him away to color a 2-page thing that is for a super secret thing that everybody will know about very soon. And I think they will really dig it. But other than that, yeah, we're punching away at finishing these pages. It's 72 pages of mayhem and Goblin Girl action.
Ooh,
so yeah,
72 pages, like it.
Well, it's 72 pages, 74 pages of story. I have to go check. We kept adding pages because I kept wanting to like smooth out little round edges on the storyline. And then there's going to be a little section in the back which may or may not have some fan art in it and some miscellaneous Goblin Girl stuff that either didn't make it into the book or some character design stuff, things like that. So.
Very cool.
All right, everybody follow Boob Dan and go back Goblin Girl.
Yes, please. Thank you.
There you go.
That knows what kind of mother find you. Sorry. I don't know why I did that voice.
Dennis Turner, you're up, friend.
Well, you guys can find me at, obviously you see at Ninja Comics on Twitter. You'll find me on Facebook. The link's in there for the Dennis and Andy show. We just do a lot of stuff on there. We actually have playlists. I do comic reviews, quick flips, full reviews. We also, review toys and stuff. Everybody's been trying to get me to start doing talking role-playing games. They want me to do the man cave. So they actually want to do a whole show where I can show off this man cave, the one downstairs. And so anyway, that's about it. You'll be able to find me, and you guys will find me. But I did want to show you one thing. I know you guys don't have a lot of Star Trek fans, so that's my new Battlestar Galactica.
Oh, that's awesome.
Ooh.
But yeah, this is why you can't see. This is my setup here.
Nice.
So this is why I have a lot of reflection, unfortunately. But these are the original 1979 blueprints for the Klingon, the Star Trek, the Vulcan shuttle.
Oh, there are drawings there.
Those are the actual original blueprints that they put out in 79.
Oh, wow.
Yes, I've had them for a long time. So I know you guys, there's not a lot of Trekkies here, but I get quite a few on my channel. I'm Star Wars, all sci-fi, all fantasy, all role-playing games, basically. I mean, it's all the genres. Yes, I am a nerd through and through. Aaron Lepresti and I have lots of interesting conversations about all the cool nerd stuff.
Cool. Alrighty. Very cool. That is a really cool room. I love the posters and everything.
Yeah,
I'm jealous.
Those are my swords back there.
Yeah, I was eyeing those swords.
Oh, Rini, you'd like this, actually.
Ooh. Weapon? Weapon.
Well, I do have
Not
weapons. But
what's that?
Ooh.
These are my glow in the.
Oh, it's lighty! Oh, flashy.
And I also got a whole set. I don't know if you've got any of these yet.
Oh,
wow.
That's cool. Oh, that's awesome.
They're light up dice. And they're rechargeable.
Oh, how are they rechargeable?
So if you look inside, you can see the little thing. So these plug in with a USB connector. And it charges them directly. So I actually just had them here charging up.
Hey, everybody. So my birthday is soon. It's actually
and this is what Andy was talking about earlier.
It's fluffy. Is that from Star Trek? Those are the fluffy things.
Yeah, it's from Star Trek. It's the Tribbles.
Oh, that's mildly disturbing, but really cute.
His moves and talks.
Oh, the dice. Even though I don't play in person anymore, I still want them.
Exactly.
I need an umbrella. She's dripping.
All my friends that I gamed with since high school, they're in college. They're up in Wisconsin and Illinois. But when you see cool stuff like this, how do you not just want to buy them?
They just put out those Dungeons and Dragons animated figures that are coming out from Hasbro, I think, and each one comes with a role-playing die.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't see that.
If you get all the figures, you'll have all the different die.
Nice. So
like the D20, I think, comes with the villain guy. I can't remember Venger and the Dungeon Master come with the D20. And then, like, the other ones come with the triangle one, and then
so it's like the animated series. You guys have all seen the animated series.
Reed's like, stop talking.
What? No, I'm looking at chat. What? Why did he go off camera?
Dennis is like, so I got to get up at 5. Blah 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 blah.
Is he mad at me?
No.
Oh, okay. Oh, Snark said I already got you gift, Tilly. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Okay, let's not go there. All right, we're trying to. I guess we're not ending the show.
That's why he went off camera. He had to go get that.
Because these are the characters that they're basing it on. And by the way, they just announced, I just saw the things for Legos are coming out with Dungeons and Dragons Legos. So I already know, because I'm teaching my niece and nephew how to play, because both my kids play now. And I'm teaching them. I got them for Christmas, the Dungeons and Dragons new one starter box set. So I've been running them through it. So I'm loaning them this because they've never seen it.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
That was a cartoon, Rini. That's what Maromi said. Yes.
Okay, I got it. Thank you.
Oh my God, we're going to have so much fun this weekend.
Oh, you're just going to be quizzing me on shit I don't know. Okay, Andy, where do people find you?
Well, hello, everybody. This is Andy, and you can follow me at Andy Smith Art on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Andy Smith Comic Artist on the YouTubes. Now, go back. KOR-DRATH, The Reckoning.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. There you have it.
Awesome. Lovely. Short and sweet. Yeah. Love it. Very well
crafted.
Hey. Hi, everybody. I'm Irene. And if you haven't liked and subscribed to the channel yet, do it. I don't tell people to like my streams enough. So, it should be here. Like, subscribe. Thank you. You can follow me at Roz on Twitter, Instagram, and of course, YouTube's. And remember to back Fiendish too if you haven't yet. And if you've backed it, share it. Or maybe back it again. I don't know. I'm not sure. But, I'm trying to get to 120K right now. And if we get there, everybody gets a free print run Dan Lawless. So that's really awesome. Also, I have merch. So if you would like this cool puffy beanie, it's puffy. Look, it's puffy. It's fat. If you would like this beanie or this super cool hoodie I'm wearing, you can go on my store, and all those links are in the description. Super cool. Oh my God, I'm done. Okay.
Oh no.
That's right, friends. Okay. Go back to Irene
Punch drunk.
Fiendish.com.
Okay, this is done. Oh, and this weekend, me and Andy and Dennis, we're all going to be in Greenville in South Carolina. So come find us there if you would like a good time. All right.
It's a one-day show. It's worth a trip.
Right.
It's just Sunday.
Yep.
But yeah.
Sunday. One day only for these 3 fiendish friends.
And South Carolina Comic Con is the name. So come by. Alrighty, thank you guys for joining me. Next week there will not be a show. I will be traveling. So I will see you guys around. No, don't freak out if I am radio silent for about a week. It's okay. I'll only be partying in Colombia. I will be back shortly after. Okay, I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.